Sam Hellinger, bringing the Paddleheads to the finish line. Boise really didn't mount much of anything, and that's what makes facing Missoula's pen very tough and is unique when looking at other teams in the Pioneer League. Just use another team in the north for an example. A team that the Paddleheads have seen a ton, the Great Falls Voyagers, team that is right in the mix for that second half pennant slot. It's actually, looking at the Northern Division standings, very tight. Up at the top, between the top 4 teams in the second half, there are only 2 games that separate the top 4 teams. And Glacier isn't even that far back either. The Range Riders, if they were able to get something going, Glacier at 4 games off the pace and 29 games left. You know, if they get hot, they could very well find themselves right in the thick of things. Range Riders will have their chances, fight their way into it. They will see the Great Falls Voyagers quite a bit. So, I'm sure a big part of who will make it to the Northern Division playoff may come down to what happens when those 2 teams get together. But the top 4 teams in the north as it stands now sees Missoula, Idaho Falls, and Great Falls. Those 3 teams right now in the second half are all tied at 11-8. So the Paddleheads, of course, are sitting pretty. They have already won the first half pennant, so they have already wrapped up a playoff spot come September. But the 2 other teams, Idaho Falls and Great Falls, at 11-8, they obviously have a ton left to play for and will be battling it out in that race in the Northern Division. And the 4th team I mentioned, the Billings Mustangs, they are also right in it. They are at 9-10 overall. That is only 2 games off the pace. Furthermore, Billings is playing against Idaho Falls this week, in what is a huge series for them. If they are able to have some success this week, obviously they would be right in the thick of things. Great Falls, I'm sure, is cheering on the Mustangs also, with Great Falls currently having the advantage over the Billings Mustangs. So they want to see the Chuckers lose as much as possible at this point. Just will be interesting to see how things shake out coming down the stretch. That's where winning that first half pennant is such a big shot in the arm. Instead of having to grind your way through the dog days of summer, so to speak, when players are dealing with so many issues with fatigue and everything else, they can just focus on keeping their body right and everything else, like the Paddleheads can, having already clinched that playoff spot. To me, that's an advantage. And yes, I understand you don't want to turn it on and off, so to speak, and have yourself put into a bad situation come the postseason, not playing your best baseball. But to me, that's part of the challenge for manager Michael Schlack, is kind of balancing those 2 things. Making sure that your guys are rested and are in good shape, but also not getting too passive and losing that edge you get mentally coming towards a potential postseason scenario. But speaking of manager Michael Schlack, he is headed out to the home plate area right now, as is manager Gary Van Tol of the Boise Hawks. Michael Schlack, a little bit of a different look today. Got lineup, got a new haircut. It's kind of fun. Actually, Vitis had kind of touched on it with him when I saw him today. Hey, nice haircut, Skip. And he went, how about this? He went and got his haircut with his son today. How wholesome is that? Michael Schlack just hanging out with his son, getting a haircut, just a couple boys hanging out. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for both clubs. We'll start with the visiting Boise Hawks. A little bit of a different look tonight for Gary Van Tol. Leading things off is the man who winded out the order last night for Boise, Haloa Dudois. He will start things out tonight at second base. Abraham Sequeira once again in the 2-hole, the DH. Juan Teixeira scored a run in last night's game. He is the right fielder, with Jacob Cruz, who went 2 for 3 last night. Cleaning things up, the first baseman, Raymond Gill, had a couple of RBIs in action last night. The third baseman, then a late scratch in the 6th spot. Originally, first order we had today had DJ Poteet in the order, but about a half hour ago, we were told of a scratch. It is Ryan Wallstad starting things out tonight. Wallstad in left field. So DJ Poteet, who's just played in a couple of games with Boise, product of Wake Forest, will not be out there tonight. Will be Ryan Wallstad starting things out in left field. Trevor Minder will bat 7th, Wallstad 6th, Minder 7th. He's the shortstop with Sean Skelly once again batting 8th, doing the catching behind the plate. And winding out the order is the man who was the leadoff man a night ago, Tyler Jorgensen, returner from last season. Jorgensen batting in the 9-hole tonight. Maybe just a little bit of a different feel for him after taking an 0 for 5. Want to change things up for him. Jorgensen will be in center field with Mike Peterson, a right-hander, getting the ball tonight for these Boise Hawks. And Peterson, it's been kind of an interesting road for him as a professional this year. He started this year with the Sioux Falls Canaries in the American Association. Get his first start opposite the Paddleheads tonight. And I imagine there very well could be a number of his close family members and friends in attendance, because he grew up not too far away from here in Missoula, is from the Palouse, Pullman, Washington. But the Paddleheads are just about ready to be brought onto the field for the top half of the first inning by Sammy B. So let's go ahead and see what the Paddleheads have got cooking for the action on this Wednesday night. Similar beginning to what we saw in last night's contest with Brandon Riley starting things off. Great game last night for Brandon Riley. Went 3 for 4, and really, he's really turned it on, especially in this second half. In my opinion, we've seen the power numbers go up. His batting average has been well up there. His last 6 games average over 400, near 400 so far in the second half for Riley. Really has seen it all come together for Brandon Riley this season. But he is starting things off with Keaton Greenwald batting second. Greenwald, also a guy swinging the bat very well. Lamar Sparks, who's been fantastic all season, will bat third. In right field with the big fella, Jason Newman, cleaning things up. Didn't have his best night last night. Finished with 3 strikeouts. Newman, the first baseman. Nick Gatewood will once again bat 5th, but is out there defensively tonight. Gatewood getting a start behind the dish. Got 2 games starting behind home plate. Last week, Gatewood will once again be the catcher tonight, batting 5th. Cam Willman will bat 6th. The shortstop with Cameron Thompson batting 7th, the third baseman. Clayton O'Connor, a couple of RBIs for him a night ago, went 2 for 4. O'Connor will bat 8th tonight after being in the 9-hole last night. The second baseman, O'Connor, and making his first appearance in this series here in Missoula will be Jared Akins, winding out the order for these Paddleheads. He is the designated hitter. On the hill tonight for Missoula, getting the start, will be Palmer Wenzel, right-hander out at the University of Texas, looking to have better success than what he had in his last outing a week ago opposite the Great Falls Voyagers. Did not have his best outing in that one. Had some control issues through the night, so Wenzel will look to hone it in opposite these Boise Hawks. Guy that had some success against Boise last year. Actually, the last time he appeared against the Boise Hawks was in this ballpark last September for the Pioneer League Championship Series in Game 1. Palmer Wenzel was the winning pitcher in that September 11th ball game here in Missoula. Went 6 innings strong, did Palmer Wenzel. So he'll look to have success like that tonight. Saw his family members in attendance checking out how he's doing. So hopefully he'll show out in front of his friends and family in attendance. Just about ready for the national anthem here at Allegiance Field. We got baseball coming up between the Hawks and the Paddleheads. Stick around on ESPN Radio.
Schlack, and you're listening to Missoula PaddleHeads Baseball on ESPN Missoula 102.9.
We're ready for the top half of the first inning at Allegiance Field, Oak Glen Park. Paddleheads are on the field for this half inning opposite the Boise Hawks. Game 2 on tap for you on a Wednesday night. First three batters we'll see in the top half of the first will be Haloa Dubois, Abraham Sequeira, and then Juan Teixeira. 1, 2, 3. Second baseman, DH, and right fielder. While we get ready for the top half of the first, let's go ahead and take a peek at Missoula's defensive alignment. Starting the outfield, move from left to right. Brandon Riley, the left fielder. Keaton Greenwald, center field, with Lamar Sparks in right. So the same outfield we saw last night. Left side of the infield, the Cams. At shortstop and third base, Thompson at third, Willman at shortstop. McLean O'Connor, second baseman, with Jason Newman playing at first. Behind the plate, catching tonight, Nick Gatewood. That's the only change defensively for the Paddleheads. And on the hill tonight is the former Texas Longhorn, second year with the Paddleheads, Palmer Wenzel. It's been kind of a mixed bag for Wenzel since coming back to Missoula. He's had a couple of very nice outings. Then he had some issues with control. His last time out opposite Great Falls to start last week. We'll see Haloa Dubois lead things off, just about set for action. When Wenzel's at his best, you'll see a fastball down below the knees, low to mid-90s, with a good slider, a lot of strikeouts and ground balls for Wenzel. The first pitch to Dubois is just down below the knees, and we're cooking at 7-16. Dubois quiet 0 for 4 last night, average at 267. 1-0 delivery. This one at the knees, strike one. Evens the count. That's where Wenzel wants to live. Right around the knees, moving it left and right. This Boise offense, for the most part, really struggled, as I alluded to last night. 1-1 pitch, a high hopper towards the shortstop, Willman. It goes under his glove into left center field. Dubois trying to advance to second. The throw will be not in time. So Greenwald kind of then lollygags out in the outfield, and that was bad all the way around for Missoula. Willman olays a ball at shortstop. Then Greenwald kind of lollygagging going towards the baseball. Dudois able to advance towards second base. So there's 2 errors on that play. One on Greenwald and one on Willman that sees Dudois advance to second base. That is not the way the Paddleheads wanted to start this one out. The first pitch on the way to Sequeira, another high bouncer over the top of the mound, fielded by Wenzel. His throw to first is just in time to get Sequeira, not by much. That was a close play. That ball was a mile high, bounced in the air. Wenzel did well just to go back there behind the mound and get to it for out number 1. Well, the first couple of batters an adventure here at Allegiance Field. After all that, it sees a runner on at third and only 1 out for now Juan Teixeira, their top RBI man, and probably best offensive weapon in general for the Hawks. 65 RBIs, 356 average. Team best 20 doubles, also tied for the team lead in home runs with 11. First pitch is low for ball 1. Fastball just below the knees. So 1 out, runner on at third. The Hawks looking to do something they never did during the game last night, and that's take a lead with the runner at third base. The 1-0 on the way. Ground ball through the right side, base hit for Teixeira, and the Hawks are up 1-0 on the RBI single. Good situational approach there for Juan Teixeira, not trying to do too much. Got a fastball right out over the plate, single to right field, and the Hawks have an early advantage in the first inning. Jacob Cruz will now be the batter. Cruz a couple of hits last night, finished 2 for 3. Average jump up to 282, 13 doubles for Cruz. 11 homers, 62 RBIs, just behind Teixeira, who just drove in his 66th run this year. Put the Boise Hawks up early. 1-0 pitch, or the first pitch on the way, is a line drive foul. That ball was ripped down the right field line, but couldn't quite straighten it out. 0-1, 102 miles an hour coming off the bat, but just to the right of that 287 marker. The RBI single obviously will not be an earned run charge to Wenzel because of the errors committed on the play. That comes back to bite Missoula in this half inning, though. The 0-1 on the way. He is below the knees, evens things up, a ball and a strike the count. Was Missoula scoring 2 in the first inning yesterday? Boise had the deficit as low as 1 in a couple of spots, but never led at any point. 1-1 on the way is off the plate, 2-1. So far, Wenzel has done a good job keeping the ball at or below the knees. These Hawks hitters have been able to stay off of pitches below the knees so far. 2-1. This one is swung on and fouled at the plate. Fastball with a good amount of downward bite to it, moving towards the bottom corner to the left-handed batting Cruz. Tough pitch to handle. It's now in a 2-strike count with a runner on at first base with Raymond Gill due next. Hawks lead early, 1-0, top 1. Well, Wenzel trying to quiet things down after those errors. The 2-2. This one a ground ball right to O'Connor on one hop. Flips to Willman. That's one. On to Newman. Double play. That's a good way to quiet things down. 4-6-3 twin killing, and the half inning is over. To the bottom half of the first we go. Boise jumps ahead 1-0, and we will return after this on ESPN Radio.
Mattress Firm Summer Sleep Specials means no matter what your budget, they have the savings to make sleep relaxing as a summer breeze. You can get 50% off during the sale on select floor models. Mattress Firm has 14-inch hybrid mattresses for $1,000 off. Mattress Firm has your mattress in stock and ready for delivery. If your budget's tight, they even have select queen mattresses for only $299. Shop the
Western Montana, KKVU HD3 Stevensville, and 102.9 FM on K275BS Missoula. Away from your radio? Stream Paddlehead Baseball live on 1029ESPN.com. Now back to the ballpark.
We're ready for the bottom half of the first inning with Brandon Riley starting things off for the Missoula Paddleheads, trailing early 1-0. The first pitch, Brandon Riley singles it right back up the middle. First pitch he sees, base hit for Brandon Riley. Just keeps on swinging a hot bat. 328 average going into that one. Now 4 for 5 so far to start things off in this 3-game series for Brandon Riley. Coming in his last 6 games, really has been swinging it well also. 4 home runs and 4 doubles in his last 6 games for Brandon Riley. Average over 400 as well. Touched on it second half, really has been on a roll. Average over 380 for Brandon Riley. The first pitch to Keaton Greenwald is just off the plate. Right-hander Mike Peterson on the hill. Very strong numbers. While at Western Oregon University, it's become kind of a familiar program through the Pioneer League with Patrick Chung and Austin Croson, both Western Oregon products. Mike Peterson, the same there. He was the GNAC Pitcher of the Year in 2021, had a strong campaign this past spring as well, finishing 4-1 for the Wolves, as the 1-1 pitch is a called strike on the outside. Grew up not too far away from right here in Missoula also. Grew up on the Palouse out in Pullman, Washington, the home of Washington State University. I'd imagine about 3-4 hours from right here. 1-1 pitch is just inside. 2-ball, 1-strike count. Interesting year for Peterson in that he's had this his second stop in pro ball, was also with the Sioux Falls Canaries of the American Association this year. Made a couple of appearances there. This is his 4th appearance with Boise, but first start overall with the Hawks. 8 innings pitched coming in, has given up 2 earned runs. The 2-1 pitch to Greenwald. This a line drive, base hit to left field on one hop in front of the left fielder, Wallstad. Was about to say Poteet's name, but then remembered he was a late scratch. But 2 line drive base hits for Keaton Greenwald and Brandon Riley. Paddleheads fell behind early in the first inning, but 2 quick base runners trying to almost immediately erase that deficit. That ball was just hammered off the bat of Greenwald on one hop to Wallstad and left. 111 miles an hour coming off the bat. Woof. Here's Lamar Sparks. That's a very impressive exit velo stat right there, 111. That's just crushed, as Lamar Sparks will now jump in. Defense for Boise, as Mike Peterson gets set up to deliver to Lamar Sparks. The first pitch, this is a ball that goes sailing into left field, a base hit. Brandon Riley is going to put the brakes down at third. Bases loaded. That was a rocket to left field. That wasn't the only thing that went out of the box, as Sparks' bat went flying that time. I don't know if I've ever seen that. And he broke his bat. Wow. That had quite a bit on it for a broken bat. That thing got broken off right at the handle. No wonder it went flying. I initially thought that Sparks just lost the bat out of his hand, didn't see it get broken. But that's exactly what happened. Now this isn't where you want to be if you're the Hawks. The bases loaded, nobody out, with the Pioneer all-time home run leader in the box. First pitch, Jason Newman takes inside. 1-0. Single season all-time leader, Jason Newman, setting the mark on Sunday's 27th long ball of the season. Quiet night last night, though, for Newman. The 1-0 is swung on, grounded left side, past a dive of Minder into left field. Riley scores. Right behind is Greenwald. The throw goes towards third, goes skipping away into the Paddlehead dugout. That's going to allow Lamar Sparks to come in to score as well. And Newman's going to end up all the way at third. Well, the lead for the Hawks sure didn't last long, did it? 3-1 Missoula. On a 2 RBI single for Jason Newman, a third run comes in to score on a throwing error. 4 singles in a row to start things off in this half inning. As I have it, that will be 2 RBIs for Jason Newman, RBIs number 90 and 91 on the season. As Nick Gatewood will now stand in with the infield in. First pitch is off the plate, 1-0. But what an answer. A run comes in to score because of that ugly play in the first inning. Some not great defense. The 1-0 pitch to Gatewood is way up high, makes it 2-0. Infield, interesting alignment for Boise. Not only are they playing in, but you're seeing 3 infielders on the right side of the infield. Infield in and shifted to the right. The 2-0 to Gatewood is up high, not even close, 3-0. Looks like a changeup from Peterson that never was close to the zone. He's on the ropes in this half inning, it seems. Danger of seeing the first 5 batters of this frame reach. The 3-0 to Nick Gatewood. Swung on and fouled off. Fastball right out over the plate. We've seen paddlehead hitters routinely get the green light, and that's exactly the type of pitch you want to go after if you're in a 3-0 count. That was a fastball right in the meat of the zone. Right on a tee, even more towards the inner half. That's where Gatewood likes it. He's a middle-in guy. Really can pull the ball well. 3-1 pitch coming to Nick Gatewood. Foul straight back. Another challenge fastball right out over the plate. That one was a bit more elevated, so that thing was even more on a tee. Looks like it came in right at the belt. But Peterson gets away with 2. Now in a 3-2 count to Gatewood with nobody out. Here it comes. Ground ball, past a dive of Dudois into right field. A base hit and an RBI for Nick Gatewood. Coming in to score is Jason Newman. And the Paddleheads, just like that, have put 4 runs on the board. 4-1 now the tally. 61st RBI this year for Nick Gatewood. Now tied for the team lead with Lamar Sparks, should say tied for second on the team with Lamar Sparks. And that's how you erase a mistake. You don't let it linger too much. You just come right back in the same inning and erase that mistake quickly. First pitch to Willman is outside for ball 1. It's been a lot of loud contact all over the ballpark. Seeing a single to center field, a couple to left field, and now a base hit to right by Gatewood, who stands at first. The 1-0 pitch is right at the knees for strike 1. Fastball with some sink evens things up. That seems to be what Peterson wants to do with the heater. Has a good amount of sink on it, but hasn't been able to get himself into too many good pitchers' counts where he is able to induce weak contact, ground balls, those sorts of things. So that previous fastball came in around 90 miles an hour with a foot of induced vertical break. That's a good pitch to make. You also have to put yourself in good hitters' counts where you don't have to attack the hitter. As the 2-1 or the 1-1 pitch misses high, it makes it 2-1. Off-speed pitch. And if you're the Hawks also, you get an early start, early lead, feeling pretty good about yourself, but must be tough to come back from when you see the lead immediately go away. As the 2-1 pitch misses off the plate. I would think that that is tough punch to absorb. You get off to a good start, and it's all for naught. 3-1 to Willman. The pitch on the way. This is fouled off to the right side. Challenge fastball up. When you're in a hitter's count, like a 3-0, 3-1, those sorts of counts, those are the types of pitches you have to make. You have to challenge. That's when professional hitters just kill you. The payoff to Willman. Fastball not close, up high, ball 4. And the stretch of base runners that have reached in a row continues on. And that's something we've said about this Paddlehead offense numerous times also. Hasn't been an offense that's been up there being too greedy, so to speak. Yes, the Paddleheads offense has done plenty with the long ball this year. Just ask players like Jason Newman. But that hasn't been the only way they've had success. They're not a one-dimensional attack. They can come at you in so many different ways. This inning, a good example of it. 6 base runners in a row. Every guy up there seemingly with a different approach, using all fields. And we haven't had a single home run in this inning. 5 singles in a row. That's how this frame started before the walk to the previous batter, Cam Willman. Van Kampen, the pitching coach, was just out there talking with Peterson. So that was the reason for the brief stoppage as we wait for Cam Thompson to now step into the box. But after the Boise Hawks took their first lead of the series in the top half of this inning, proved to not last long at all as the Paddleheads come back with 4 runs in this half inning. First pitch, Cam Thompson takes outside. A ball, no strikes the count. And if you're Boise, you just want to try to get an out in any way you can before this inning completely gets out of control. The 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss out in front of what looked to be a changeup from Peterson. Count at 1 ball and 1 strike. McLean O'Connor waits on deck. Willman at first base, Gatewood the lead runner at second. Time has been called at the plate, I believe, by Skelly, the catcher. So Thompson steps out. That's not something you see too often. Don't see a catcher call time at the plate all that much. Target looks to be away from Skelly. The pitch wraps around the plate, but just misses. Breaking ball from Peterson just missed the outside corner. 2 ball and strike count. Here it comes to Thompson. This ball popped up right behind home plate. This one will go out of play. And remember, it is a Wednesday, so if you do hear a few sounds to be yips or maybe some barking or anything like that, you're not going crazy. It is Wolf Wednesday here at Allegiance Field, Ogren Park. So we got furry friends walking around the yard today. 2-2 pitch to Cam Thompson is up high. 3 ball, 2 strike count. The gang was all there in the Paddlehead front office today. Saw Pepper, saw Jack, and Kylo. They were all there. A couple of the dogs that are routinely brought around the Paddlehead front office. You never know who's going to be there when you show up over there. 3-2 with nobody out. Will the runners be on the move? They don't go. Thompson takes up high. Another batter reaches in a row. That's 7 to start this inning. That sends McLean O'Connor into the box. O'Connor had a great night offensively for the Paddleheads, 2 for 4. Had a big swing in the 6th inning. Missoula, for a number of frames, were stuck on 4 runs after they had the early start in the first 2 innings. And it was just a 1-run lead for a good amount of time also, but O'Connor, a 2-run single in the 6th, extended the Paddleheads' lead to 3 with 2 outs. First pitch, O'Connor takes a pitch that was apparently high, 1-0. Pretty close, looked like, from up here. Not a bad pitch from Peterson, but didn't get the call. Ball, no strikes the count with nobody out, bases loaded. The pitch to O'Connor, it's way outside. Skelly is able to keep it close enough so nobody advances. Nicely done by Skelly, corralling that one. That was well off the plate, a breaking ball. Just slid to the right, was able to knock it down just enough to keep it close. And Peterson is on the ropes. He is got to try to find something. Things not going his way at all. Bullpen has got it started for Boise. 2-0 is popped up. When you allow 5 base hits in a row, last thing you want to do is start putting guys on for free. That's exactly what Peterson has done to the last 2 batters. 4-1 is the advantage for the Paddleheads, looking for a lot more with the bases still loaded. The 2-1 is swung on and foul tipped at the plate. O'Connor going fishing for one well below the knees in that spot. 2-ball, 2-strike count to McLean O'Connor. He's got plenty of pop. 8 home runs for O'Connor this year to go along with 11 doubles. And remember, O'Connor has missed a fair amount of time this season also due to injury. Last time these two teams got together, O'Connor was just working his way back from the inactive list. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss at a pitch down below the knees. Peterson able to make a pitch there. A breaking ball gets O'Connor out in front. And that is the first out of this half inning. 9th batter, Jared Akins, will now step in. So Akins slotted in at the bottom of this order. Chance for him to get some at-bats. .323 average for Akins, looking to build upon this 4-run rally. The first pitch from Peterson, swung on and missed, down below the knees. Surprised to see Akins up there hacking early in the count. You would think that he would have a little bit more of a passive approach, considering the 2 walks that had come before. Yes, O'Connor struck out. The 0-1 with 1 out is skipped in. Breaking ball in the dirt, evens things up at a ball and a strike with 1 out. 4 runs on 5 hits for the Paddleheads just in the first inning. Brandon Riley's spot's already set to come up next, barring a double play ball. Bases loaded, only 1 out. Peterson coming with the 1-1 delivery. Ground ball, fair ball down the first base line. Gatewood's going to score easily. Willman right behind, he scores as well. They're going to wave O'Connor. No, they're going to stop Thompson at third. O'Connor stops. That's still a 2-run double down the right field line for Jared Akins. Not O'Connor at third base, Thompson there, but still a 2-run double for Jared Akins, and it's a 6-run first inning. We'll see Brandon Riley step up for the 2nd time in the inning. The party started very quickly for Missoula in this inning. First pitch that Brandon Riley saw, he lined it right back up the middle for a base hit to get this party started. There's only been 1 out recorded since he stepped into the box the last time in this inning. The first pitch, Riley lets it go by for ball 1. Fastball just missed the top part of the zone. 1-0 with 1 out. A lead for Boise in the top of the first, but it did not last long. 6-1 the score now. The 1-0 delivery. Riley takes again. This one a called strike. Fastball, borderline pitch. This one gets the call. A ball and a strike the count with 1 out. Still 2 runners on in scoring position. Thompson at third, Akins at second base. Time is called at the dish. Again by Skelly, the catcher. This is the 2nd time he's called time in this half inning. So the bullpen working for Boise off to the right. Looks like Mike Peterson is up. 1-1 is swung on and popped up into center field. Moving a bit to the left is Tyler Jorgensen. He is underneath it, makes the catch. His throw will go into third base as Thompson will easily come in to score on the sacrifice fly off the bat of Brandon Riley. Good at-bat by Riley. He's able to get enough of that one to fly it out into center field. Gets a run in. A 7-run rally for the Paddleheads. 47 ribbies for Brandon Riley. Almost forgot, just remembered, didn't look at the defense for Boise in this half inning. Starting the outfield, Ryan Wallstad in left, the aforementioned Tyler Jorgensen center field, Juan Teixeira in right. That's your outfield from left to right. Raymond Gill at third base as Greenwald takes inside in the first pitch, 1-0. Minder, the shortstop, Dudois, second base. Jacob Cruz at first, Sean Skelly doing the catching for Peterson on the mound. Greenwald hit a rocket his last time in the box, 1-0, taken again, called strike at the knees. A breaker evens things up. Was a base hit to left field on one hop in front of Wallstad and left. Over 110 miles an hour coming off the bat. The 1-1 is swung on, and there's a ball hit very well. Left center field, drifting back is Jorgensen at the warning track, reaches up and makes the play. Out number 3. That ball given a ride by Greenwald, but not quite deep enough. Paddleheads find plenty, though, in the first inning. They jump out to a 6-run lead. 7-1 is the score. Top 2 coming up.
Paddlehead play-by-play on ESPN Radio.
Well, as Paddlehead fans have come to find out, when that offense gets it rolling, it is tough to stop, and great example of that in that last half inning. Paddleheads saw 5 singles in a row start things out, and they were able to jump out to a 6-1 advantage in the half inning. Raymond Gill will try to get this Boise attack back rolling again as they look for a rebuttal. Raymond Gill, Ryan Wallstad, and then Trevor Minder in this half inning. 5, 6, 7 spots for the Boise Hawks. Palmer Wenzel's first pitch of the inning. Fastball is just up high for ball 1. Raymond Gill's solid night last night was a big part of the Hawks-only rally in the third inning a night ago. Was a 3-run rally. Pitch to Gill, 1-0, swing and a miss. Was out in front. It would look to be a changeup. Count at 1-1. 2 for 4 was Gill, a 2-run single in that rally. The third run that scored in that 3-inning rally came on an error at shortstop. And that might be something to look at. 1-1 pitch is a swing and a ball hit high in the air. Left field, going back is Brandon Riley, as is Keaton Greenwald. It's going to be Greenwald putting this one away. A few paces in front of the warning track for out number 1. So Gill just getting underneath that one, just missed the barrel. Gave that one a ride, 347 feet, but not deep enough. Ends up being a routine fly ball into left center. So Raymond Gill retired, and Ryan Wallstad, a left-handed batter, will now step in. Wallstad appeared very briefly in last night's game as a pinch hitter. He takes low and in on the first pitch, 1-0. And again, originally we had DJ Poteet slated in this spot, but was a late scratch from Gary Van Tall. 1-0 with one out, here it comes. Fastball just misses the corner. 2-0 to Wallstad. Wallstad, 38 games played with the Hawks, 281 average, 25 driven in, 8 doubles. 2-0 pitch. Wallstad lets it go by again, just out of the zone, not by a lot. 3-0 the count. Trevor Minder to follow. See if Palmer Wenzel can fight his way back into this at-bat with one out and the base is empty. The pitch is on the bottom part of the zone. Bit of a delayed call, but a fastball was in there to keep this at-bat going. 3-1. Wenzel working pretty quick, set at the chest. The 3-1 delivery. Same spot, same result. Strike 2, right on the outside part of the plate. That's a good place to live if you're Palmer Wenzel. Right at the knees, going towards the corner. Let's see if he sticks with it or goes to something different. The payoff to Wallstad, grounded, foul. Going to the opposite part of the plate this time was Wenzel, going down the inside corner to the left-handed batting Wallstad. Stayed away on the 2 previous fastballs, tries to bust him in with heat there. Wallstad able to poke it foul. We'll see another 3-2, here it comes. Fastball is outside, apparently, for ball 4. Trevor Minder will now be the batter. That looked to be right on the outside corner, but was not. Called that way as Trevor Minder steps in. My opinion, Wallstad just got a gift. But the Hawks a base runner now with one out. This pitch, first one to Minder, this one a strike at the bottom of the zone. Moving away from the right-handed batting Minder. A little bit of natural cut on that fastball at 88 on the gun. Couple walks for Minder last night, was 0 for 2. 0-1 on the way. This one a shot into left center field. Going back is Keaton Greenwald looking up at the wall, and he just has enough room. Tracking this one down in front of the Allegiance sign in left center field. One thing to watch, looked to me like Greenwald's kind of came up a little bit. Looks like he was feeling some pain out in the outfield. But he looks to be walking normally now. So not sure what happened to Greenwald out there in the outfield. But we'll keep an eye on Greenwald, make sure he's all good out there. 2 outs now in the inning on 2 pretty well hit fly balls into the outfield. Sean Skelly, the catcher, now stands in with the runner on at first. First pitch is below the knees, ball 1. Skelly, the starting catcher last night, you will see the Hawks bounce around with the catchers. Surprised not to see Miles Harris as a pinch hitter last night. 1-0 on the way, is just a bit inside. 2-0 the count to Skelly. So in the last series, the Paddleheads saw Boise, saw Miles Harris as either a starter or a pinch hitter in every game that the Hawks were a part of against Missoula. 2-0 with 2 outs, 7-1 game. Pitch on the way. This one a sharply hit ground ball to the glove of Willman. Bobbles it. His only play will be to first, and he is able to get Skelly for out number 3. So Willman couldn't handle that ball at shortstop, but was able to get the play at first for the final outs of the frame. Scoreless inning here for Palmer Wenzel. We will head to the bottom half of the inning with the Paddleheads up 7-1.
on 102.9 ESPN Radio Missoula.
The heart of the paddlehead order is coming to the plate for what is the second inning here at Allegiance Field, Ogren Park. And the starting pitcher tonight for the Boise Hawks, Mike Peterson, has already been called off the mound. Things did not go his way in the first inning, so Jordan Nelson will now take over for the Boise Hawks. Right-hander, pretty tall, lanky guy, 24 years old, out of Iowa City. Another guy that has some experience in the American Association. Touched on Peterson's brief stint in Sioux Falls. Nelson pitched with the Gary Railcats, Gary, Indiana, pretty close to Chicago. Lamar Sparks stands in, leading off the frame. First pitch of the bottom of the second inning. Swing and a miss. A big rip by Sparks. Looked like a changeup towards the outside part of the plate. Sparks was out in front. Sparks, Newman, and then Gatewood. The 0-1. This one a ball hit into right center field. A little bloop. This one's going to get down in front of Tyler Jorgensen. Little Texas Leaguer single for Lamar Sparks. He has 2 hits today. And I guess they picked the right guy for the beer batter. 2 at-bats, 2 innings, 2 singles, 2 chances for discounted suds. Boom, boom. As Jason Newman will now step in with Sparks on at first. Jason Newman got the party started for Missoula in that 7-run rally in the first. Newman, a 2-run single. Get himself over 90 RBIs. First pitch, a ground ball, left side. Raymond Gill has it at third base, throws to Dubois, and it's past him. Into right field. Everybody's safe. Lamar Sparks will advance to third, as there will be runners on at the corners. That is a huge mistake for the Hawks. I imagine they would have had a pretty decent opportunity to turn 2 that ground ball. Instead, they get no outs out of that. As a throw from Raymond Gill just gets by Dubois. At the very least, would have recorded 1 out in that spot. Instead, nobody is out, and you got a runner on at third base and at first. Second error on the Boise Hawks. Nick Gatewood to the plate, who singled his last time. First pitch is outside. Already 7 runs on the board and a chance for more. 1-0. Nelson sets at the belt. Here it comes. This one off the plate away. So with Gary last season was Nelson. Very brief time there. This is his 11th appearance. Check that, 12th time out on the mound this season for Boise, as the 2-0 is fouled away to the right side. Or to the left side, the other right. 2-1 the count. But for Nelson, in 11 appearances, 22 innings, 25 hits, 13 Ks, 7 walks, a 5.32 ERA. And I would imagine his job here will be to try to eat up a couple of innings. We're only in the second. Forced to go to the pen are the Hawks. The 2-1 swung on and missed by Gatewood. Count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Boise, thanks to a play involving some sloppy defense, were able to jump on the board first in the top of the first, but that a distant memory at this point with the score 7-1. Paddleheads threatening in the second inning. 2 pitches down below the knees. Breaking ball off the plate. Full count. And on top of all the success swinging the bat with 7 hits recorded, as we stand here in the second inning, Boise hasn't done themselves any favors either, with 2 errors and 2 walks. And a 3-2 count is Nick Gatewood, with Newman at first and Sparks at third. Target away from Skelly. The payoff to Gatewood. This is a line drive, center field. Jorgensen has to play it on a bounce. That's a base hit up the middle, and Sparks can walk home to make it 8-1 Missoula. Another RBI for Gator. His second of the night, and second base hit. Paddleheads may have 10 hits on the board by the time the second inning is over, as Cam Willman will now jump in. Willman was the man that had the defensive mistake in the first inning, had a ground ball go right under his glove. Chance here to get himself going at the plate to make up for it with 2 runners aboard. The first pitch to Cam Willman. This one is hit high in the air, down the right field line. Going to be tough for anybody to get to it. Teixeira hustling over is going to watch this one bounce, but in foul territory. Just to the left of where most of the relievers for Boise are sitting. The Paddleheads offense has wasted no time getting things going, scoring 8 runs already, leading by 7. There's still nobody out in this half inning. Quite the long stretch in the last frame with base runners on. 0-1 to Willman. Misses down low. Count even at a ball and a strike. The last half inning, the Paddleheads saw the first 7 batters they brought up to the dish all reach base in a row. As part of that 7-run rally, we've seen 3 reach consecutively here. 1 on an error. 1-1 to Cam Willman. The pitch is taken for a strike. Fastball with some sink to it. Good pitch in that spot to jump ahead 1-2. And if you're the Hawks, you're trying to find any sort of positive results you can at this point. Trying to keep this game from completely getting away from them in the early frames. 1-2 is the count to Willman now. The pitch, swing and a miss. Chased a breaking ball below the knees. Did Willman actually foul tipped it just barely into the glove of Skelly? Either way, a swinging strike 3 to record the first out. That sends the other Cam to the dish, Cam Thompson. Thompson was the final batter in a row to reach the 7th in that first inning. Missoula overall brought 11 batters to the plate in the first. Nick Gatewood brought a run in already in this inning. 2 runners on, 8-1 score. First pitch to Thompson is up high. Skelly checks on the runner at first, chasing Gatewood back to the bag. Snap throw back by Skelly. Gatewood able to beat the throw by a decent amount. Still one more game left in this homestand. Tomorrow night, it's a Thirsty Thursday, so you can come out and get an early start on the weekend with the Paddleheads. If you like karaoke, like a lot of folks do here in Montana, tomorrow is your night. It is karaoke night tomorrow. Thirsty Thursday with karaoke sounds like a dangerous combination to me. 1-0 pitch. This is up high. 2 ball, no strike count. That brings the big question up. If you're going to sing karaoke, what are you going to sing? Are you going oldies? You going new? Are you going rock? You going hip-hop? You going country? To me, it's all based on you. The 2-0 pitch, Thompson swings and misses at a pitch at the knees. Go with the song that makes you feel the most confident, that you know that you can crush. That's your karaoke song. So if you know every word to Party in the USA, belt it. Doesn't matter if people don't like Miley Cyrus. 2-1 with one out. The pitch to Thompson. Foul, straight back. Fastball towards the outside. Thompson had that one squared up. At least timing-wise, he was right on it. Count even at 2 to Thompson, who drew a free pass in the first inning. One of 2 walks issued in that first inning. 7 runs on 7 hits off Peterson in the first. All were earned. 2-ball, 2-strike count to Cam Thompson. With Newman, the lead runner at second base, Gatewood still at first. Here it comes. This one a soft line drive towards the middle and through the middle. Base hit over the top of Minder's head. Newman's going to stop at third. Had to wait to see if Minder was going to be able to get to that ball or not. Thompson didn't exactly tear the cover off the ball, just a little bloop into left center field, but he gets down for a hit. That's the type of night it's been so far for this paddlehead attack. When you're hot, swinging it well, those are the types of base hits that you're going to get. It's McLean O'Connor will stand in for the second time in the game with the bases loaded. That's how you know you're having a good night offensively to start it out. When your spots come up twice in 2 innings, as it has for O'Connor, and both times it did with the bases loaded. 1 out, 7-run advantage. O'Connor in the box waiting the pitch. This one is low, way down low for ball 1. Almost low enough where it got to a spot where it could have skipped in to Skelly on an in-between hop and skip right by him. O'Connor struck out in his first plate appearance. The 1-0 pitch. Fastball on the outside. 1-1 now. Mentioned the series finale tomorrow. Here in Missoula, action will then shift to Boise for the weekend. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday between these 2 clubs. The 1-1 offering. Change up, found the outside corner. Good pitch. Right on the black, on the outside. Good place to live if you're O'Connor in the box. Jared Akins waits on deck. He would hit in this inning, barring a twin killing. 1-2 with 1 out. 9 hits already for the Paddleheads. The pitch, not going after that one, was O'Connor. Breaking ball off the plate away. Far enough off the plate where he was easily able to lay off. Somewhat similar type of pitch that he struck out on in the first inning was a breaking ball towards the bottom of the zone, but that one was well below the knees, relatively easy for O'Connor to lay off. Two and two now with 1 out, bases loaded, 7-run ball game. The Paddleheads have the early lead. The 2-2 pitch to McLean O'Connor. Ground ball towards Raymond Gill. He's going to come home with it, and he throws it by Skelly. This is going to lead to Newman coming in to score. Nothing going right for the Boise Hawks as another run comes in to score due to an error. That is a backbreaker. Makes the score 9-1. I mean, there's a good chance that Boise gets a double play out of that, with Gill coming home and then Skelly throwing to first. The 9-2-3 double play, or 5-2-3 double play, not one you see very often, but it's a pretty sharp ground ball hit right to Gill, and he just threw it right past Skelly. Unbelievable. 3rd error committed by the Hawks. You just cannot make mistakes like that against a team like this. First pitch to Jared Akins, misses up high. Akins had a 2-run double in his last at-bat as Osprey just flies over. And I don't know what it's got, but it definitely had some type of a treat in its claws. My guess is it was a fish. 1-0 pitch is up high. 2-ball, no strike count. So where else are you going to see that? You're just sitting at the yard enjoying a baseball game, and not only does an osprey fly by, but it does so with its dinner. What other baseball park in pro ball is going to give you that? Flathead Field, maybe. The 2-0 pitch with one out. This one fouled straight back. Fastball right out over the plate. Akins maybe taking a bit of a walk after that. That was right down Broadway. He just missed one there. And touched on it hasn't just been the Paddleheads swinging the bats well. Couple of very costly errors. We've seen now 2 in this half inning, both from Raymond Gill. The 2-1 on the way. Line drive right to the first baseman. They'll throw back to second. That's a double play. Line drive right to Cruz at first. Fires back to second base with Dubois covering, and that is a double play. So a 3-4 double play ends the frame. Paddleheads get a couple more runs on the board, though. 9-1 is the advantage as we head towards the third inning. Thanks for coming in with us on Wednesday night. Jeff Safford here with you, a Wolf Wednesday. One of my favorite parts of Wolf Wednesday taking place right now. When they get the dogs out on the dugouts. Looks like they had some sort of a eating competition. I think that's the first time we've seen that. Yes, and it was. There was a hot dog eating contest. Now remember, hot dogs are made with beef product usually, so Tyler Jorgensen will lead off this frame for Boise. So I would think four-legged friends would really dig a hot dog. I know all the dogs I grew up definitely would, and they'd be all over it. The dogs here in Missoula are pretty good also. 1-0 pitch is a called strike on the inside. Count it 1-1 to Tyler Jorgensen. 9-1-2 spots coming up for Boise, trailing by 8 here in the third inning. 9-1 is the tally. 1-1 to Jorgensen is outside. Jorgensen saw him lead off action last night, down in the 9-hole tonight. 269 average overall for Jorgensen in year number 2 for Gary Van Tol. 2-1. The pitch from Wenzel. Misses low. 3-1. Not the night Jorgensen wanted either in the leadoff spot. Took an 0 for 5. I'm sure that's part of the reason why he's down here now in the 9-hole. Just a different role. 3-1 pitch is just low for ball 4. Leadoff free pass in this half inning for Wenzel. Touched on it a few times also. That was the issue for Palmer Wenzel in his last outing, was his lack of control. He has now walked 2 in the last 2 innings. This being the second, as Holoa Dubois will step in. Dubois reached in the first offering at the knees on the outside corner. Good pitch from Wenzel in that spot to jump ahead 0-1. Dudois would score a run in the first inning, reaching on an error. 2 errors actually occurred on the play. The 0-1 pitch, fastball towards the outside, but just off the plate. Was a hopping ground ball towards Cam Willman at short. He olayed it, went right under his glove. Then when Keaton Greenwald didn't get to the ball quick enough, Dudois took off and went to second. Fly ball on the 1-1 pitch, just a bit to the line is Riley. He's right there for out number 1. Routine fly ball, Riley moved a step or two towards the line to record the first out of the inning. So Dudois is now 0 for 2 as Abraham Sequeira will now be the hitter. A left-handed bat. Sequeira, a high hopping ground ball. Nice play made on the mound by Wenzel to record an out with Sequeira in the box. First pitch here is down below the knees and off the plate. Sliding to the left was Nick Gatewood. 1-0 the count, 1 away. 9 runs on 9 hits for the Paddleheads through 2. 1 run on 1 hit for Boise. 3 errors as well. 1-0 is a soft line drive left field. Riley coming in on the move, makes the play for out number 2. Thought maybe we'd see that patented belly slide in left field from Brandon Riley coming in, but he didn't need the flashy finish there. Out number 2. Nice way for Palmer Wenzel to bounce back after giving up the walk to start the inning. Comes back with 2 weakly hit fly balls. 2 outs, runner on at first. Juan Teixeira now to the dish, who has recorded the 1 hit to this point for Boise. The first pitch to Teixeira is taken at the knees. Good pitch there, 0-1. Slider moving off the plate away to Teixeira, right at the knees. That is a very tough pitch to pick up. 0-1, Wenzel sets up high above the chest. Not a big lead at first. The 0-1 is a swing and a line drive, base hit left center field. On the run on the pitch is Jorgensen, got a good jump. He advances to third. So Teixeira seems like it's the only guy seeing Wenzel all that well to this point. 2 hard hit baseballs, 2 base hits in his first 2 at-bats, and he keeps this inning alive for Jacob Cruz. Jacob Cruz ended the inning for the Hawks offensively in the first after Teixeira got Boise on the board with the RBI single. He bounced into a double play to end the inning. Runners on at the corners, 2 outs. First pitch is outside for ball 1. Fastball off the plate. Wenzel, of course, before returning to Missoula, was a part of the Houston Astros system this season. The 1-0 is a swing and a ball fouled off to the left. And now, obviously, going through something like that as a player being released from an affiliated club, not something that is easy to go through. And I'm sure there's a lot of mental hurdles to get yourself kind of honed back in on the mound. But this is a big spot for Wenzel to gain some confidence with a couple of runners on with 2 outs, try to hold the line. The 1-1 pitch is down low and in. I feel like, especially for pitchers, having that mental edge is sometimes the biggest part of having success. Just having confidence in your stuff, knowing that you can locate where you want to, when you want to. Throw over, checks on the runner, Teixeira at first. Trying to keep this a 8-run lead with 2 runners on at first and third, 2 outs. 2-1 the count to Jacob Cruz. 2-1, fouled straight back. Fastball towards the outside part of the plate. Raymond Gill just had a half inning defensively that I'm sure he would like to forget very quickly. He waits on deck with 2 outs. 2 ball, 2 strike count. The Paddleheads out in front 9-1 here in the top of the 3rd inning. The 2-2 on the way. Swinging a line drive right to O'Connor, though, at second base. Got jammed just enough. Did Cruz. Wasn't able to get it out there with enough steam, and that ends the frame. We'll head to the bottom half of the 3rd inning. The Paddleheads cruising up 8. Up. 0-1 to B-Rye. The pitch on its way. Line drive, foul. Past the first baseman Cruz, but in foul ground. Now skipping down past the bullpen. And into the field of play, so we'll have to wait for a second for him to corral this one from out of the bullpen. I did see kind of a funny photograph shared by our Paddleheads front office members. That was kind of funny. The 0-2 pitch is a swing and a miss. Was out in front of a breaking ball. Was Riley. Strike 3 for the first out of the inning. Already a step in the right direction if you're Boise in this frame. So that's the first time that the Hawks have set down the leadoff man. Paddleheads saw 7 batters in a row reach in the first. And the first 3 batters were all on base in the last half inning as well. So Keaton Greenwald will stand in, but again to the photograph featuring the Boise bullpen. I don't know if I've seen this one. First pitch is a swing and a miss out in front of a curve, 0-1. So Jordan Nelson getting a couple of hitters tied up with that breaker. Last couple of batters. Sitting down in the bullpen, killing time. Boise Hawks were playing tic-tac-toe in the bullpen. The 0-1 is taken down low. Even count at a ball and a strike. And you never know what you're going to see. Guys buying time. On the other side, the Paddleheads bullpen arms We're in a little dance contest with a fan in between innings. 1-1 pitch on the way is just outside. Really, a contest isn't really the right way to word it. They do this a lot of times on Sundays for kids-free Sundays. Where they bring a little kid out into the bullpen. It's kind of a monkey see, monkey do deal where the kid does some dance moves and then the bullpen pitchers have to follow suit. It's always kind of funny to watch. The 2-1 pitch, Greenwalt takes up higher. No, it's a late called strike. Fastball did catch the top of the zone. So I just got a little too ahead of myself. 2-2 the count to Greenwalt, who flew out and singled in that first inning rally, 1 for 2. Sparks to follow, base is empty. The 2-2 pitch is a swing and a rocket. Left field, going back is Wallstad at the wall, reaches up and makes the play for out number 2. Not quite enough on that one for Greenwalt. Had the sound, had the look initially, but making the catch at the wall was Ryan Wallstad for out number 2. Lamar Sparks to the dish now. 2 singles for Sparks. Good way to bounce back after taking an 0 for 4 last night. 9-1 advantage for the Paddleheads here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. First pitch is just high. Fastball missed the top portion. Very close pitch, 1-0. Boise looking for their first 1-2-3 inning. First of any kind in this game. 1-0 is just outside. 2 ball, no strike count. Not much action in the top half of this inning from Boise, but there was one base runner that got on via a free pass, so not a 1-2-3. 2-0 to Sparks with 2 outs. Nelson comes home. Sparks takes on the outside. Fastball gets the call. 2-1. I don't think Sparks was too happy with that. It's one of those guys who's pretty easy to read when he's in the box, when he's not happy with a certain call. Get this look of bewilderment. The 2-1 pitch is a swing and a ball popped up down the right field line. Going to be a long run for Teixeira, coming now into foul territory. It lands foul. Just behind the bullpen mound for strike 2 to Sparks. In terms of showing their emotions, Sparks, definitely a guy that will. Austin Croson, I would think, would be culprit number 1 in terms of being a guy that will show his emotions a ton. I mean, he's always up there snarling, barking at umpires, pumping his fist. He's a real fiery guy on the mound. I think it's one of his best attributes. 2-2 to Lamar Sparks with Newman to follow if he reaches. Here it comes. Breaking ball. Strike 3 on the inside corner. Wraps a backdoor breaking ball right around the inside part of the plate. Sparks can't believe it, but that's the end of the inning. We'll head to the 4th. No runs, no hits, nobody left for Missoula. Paddleheads still out in front, though, by 8.
I am Jeff Laporte, an orthopedic surgeon and the medical director of the Missoula Bone and Joint Surgery Center. I'm here to welcome you to our new state-of-the-art facility in Missoula, Montana. Since we opened, the feedback from our patients has been very positive. Our goal was to build a facility that helps us provide the best surgical services by increasing access to patient care and also providing high-quality orthopedic surgical services. In addition to the usual outpatient procedures we have done for years, we can also offer joint replacement surgery and spine surgery with the option of an overnight stay. Research shows that patients' outcomes are better if they return home soon after surgery. Our board-certified orthopedic surgeons, anesthesiologists, and support personnel are committed to providing the highest quality of care at our new state-of-the-art facility at Missoula Bone and Joint Surgery Center.
Missoula Bone and Joint. Quality care from people who care.
Well, the top of the fourth about to begin now at Allegiance Field, Ogren Park. The Paddleheads have a lengthy, sizable advantage, a better way to put that. 9-1 lead. This action begins in this half inning, fourth inning. Guy who has not had a great night to this point, Raymond Gill, will step into the box to lead this inning off, followed by Ryan Wallstad and Trevor Minder. Second time that this part of the order has come up for Gary Van Tall and the Hawks. Raymond Gill, a fly ball out to Greenwald to lead off the second inning. He's 0 for 1. He's also had a couple of costly errors on the defensive side. Facing Palmer Wenzel for the second time. The first pitch is just below the knees. 1-0 the count. And for the most part, Wenzel has been able to keep the ball down well. Staying away from these Boise hitters. The only run that's come in to score was an unearned run. 1-0 pitch was inside again to Gill. Gill hit the ball pretty well in his last at-bat to left field. Took Greenwald back to the track in left center, but was able to make the catch, just got jammed enough to keep it in the yard. The 2-0 to Gill. This one a ground ball through the right side, base hit for Raymond Gill to lead off the top of the fourth inning. Going the opposite way with a fastball on the inside, goes to right field with it. Gets himself on base to start off the inning. Ryan Wallstad will now be the hitter. Wallstad walked in his first plate appearance back in the second, one of 2 free passes issued by Wenzel to this point. The base hit there by Gill is the first hit from someone not named Teixeira for Boise. First pitch, this is grounded foul on the first base side. And Wenzel is a guy that, like I've alluded to, keeps the ball down. So naturally, a guy that you would think of for ground balls already has induced 1 double play tonight as Wenzel. The 0-1 pitch to Ryan Wallstad. Fastball on the inside. Strike 2. Lets it go by. Fastball with some natural movement right towards Wallstad, the left-handed batter. Now finds himself in a 2-strike hole with nobody out and a runner on in first. It's Gill. Not a big lead away from the bag. The 0-2 delivery. Down and off the plate, kept close by Gatewood. Just kind of snuck the knees together to keep that one near home plate. Fans here in Missoula hoping for a strikeout top of the fourth, the jitter inning. Get free cup of Joe. 1-2 pitch. This one lined but foul off to the left. Sailing over the top of the Paddlehead dugout. Fastball laterally towards the center of the zone, but towards the knees as well. A ball and 2 strikes the count to Ryan Wallstad, with Trevor Minder to follow. 9-1 contest. The Paddleheads are out in front in the top of the fourth. The 1-2 delivery. Line drive right to Willman at shortstop. Staying close to the bag, though, smartly was Gill, so not a double play in that spot. Just the first out of the inning on an L6. Wallstad got the barrel down on that one, golfed that fastball towards the bottom of the zone, but right to the glove of Willman at shortstop. Trevor Minder now to the dish. Minder also gave one a ride to left field this last time. Takes the first pitch in this at-bat that misses low. Ball 1, 1-0. Fly ball out to Greenwald, tracked it down just in front of the warning track in his last at-bat. Gill on at first, 1 out. 1-0 delivery from Wenzel is swung on and popped up into shallow right field. Coming towards the line is Lamar Sparks on the move, makes the catch. On the run for out number 2. Lamar Sparks made that look a lot easier than it really was, hustling towards the foul line. What an athletic player he is, Lamar Sparks. Second out in the inning, Sean Skelly, now the batter. And to have 3 outfielders that start routinely like the Paddleheads do, Sparks, Greenwald, and Riley. It's just fun to watch. All three of them very good defensively, and they all can play in center field. First pitch is outside, 1-0. Typically, this center fielder is a guy that can cover the most ground. Overall, usually your best outfielder. But when all three can play in center comfortably and not miss anything defensively, that says a ton. 1-0 with 2 outs. This is a sky-high fly ball, foul ground. Cam Thompson over by the bullpen. He runs out of room. To the grassy knoll it goes, and after it is a little girl. She got it. Gets a nice round of applause from the fans. This looks like Dad gave her a little hoist up to show off her prize. Why not? You got a souvenir. Maybe that was her first one. You never know. Just having fun at the yard on a Wednesday night, Allegiance Field, Ogren Park. Always a fun spot to be in Zootown. A little bit cooler than last night. Kind of a weird day. Had these high clouds hanging around all day. So didn't get quite as hot this afternoon. 1-1 pitch is just in tight for ball 2. Seen some borderline pitches. Not granted for strikes tonight. Have been real close. Kind of 50-50. 2-1 with 2 away to Sean Skelly, who bounced out his last time, swinging and missing at the 2-1 pitch. Couldn't catch up to the fastball. Fastball running away from Sean Skelly. Gill is still on, who led off this frame with a single. Wenzel has been able to retire the next 2 batters to take some of the heat off this inning. Paddleheads lead by 8, 9-1 the score. 2 outs, 2-2 pitch. Taken just inside. Slider missed, full count. Hoping Skelly would go waving at that slider. I imagine that Wenzel was hoping that Skelly would be sitting on a fastball and would be way out in front of the slider, swing right through it, but let it go by for ball 3. Runner will be on the move. There he goes. It's taken just inside. Ball 4, fastball missed. Third walk issued by Palmer Wenzel. Tyler Jorgensen will now be the batter. Pretty close, that previous pitch, but surely looked to be off the plate to me. So Jorgensen will get a chance with a couple of runners on and 2 down. Hawks trying to get on the board for the first time since the first. Jorgensen swings at the first pitch and fouls it off to the left. High sailing over the top of the concession area. 0-1. And I'm sure some folks may be doing some scoreboard watching, but not just for baseball. Tonight, preseason NFL football also going on. Wild to think that. 0-1 pitch, a line drive, center field. Greenwald on the run, has it in center field for out number 3. Line drive into center. Greenwald able to make the catch on the run for out number 3. Still just 1 run on the board for the Boise Hawks. They trail by 8. We'll head to the bottom half of the 4th on ESPN Radio.
Why is it that your AC
HD3 Stevensville and 102.9 FM on K275BS Missoula. We now return to Paddlehead Play-by-Play on ESPN Radio.
We're back here on ESPN Radio. Glad to have everyone with us on what is a Wednesday night. The Paddleheads cruising early on, an 8-1 lead. Had a hot dog eating contest in the last inning. This inning was my favorite, the dog fashion show. Dom's getting brought across that Paddlehead dugout on the third base side. A pretty good contingent tonight, too. Jason Newman will be the leadoff man. You never know what type of dog is going to show up at Wolf Wednesday. Big, small, medium-sized, all over the map. First pitch is just low for 1-0. Last week, the highlight was a big old St. Bernard I saw. When I'm talking a big one. I guess when do you see a small St. Bernard? The 1-0 to Newman is just off the plate. 2-ball, no strike count. Now, last season, and for a number of years, marketing genius for the Paddleheads, Taylor Rush, his dog was one of my favorites. Sherman, the 2-0 pitch is a called strike. 2-1. This is a small little black bulldog. He would always come up and say hello. I have this clear memory when my first days working with the Paddleheads last summer, sitting at the desk kind of feeling like nervous, you're working in a new spot, and here's Sherman coming up saying hello. 2-1 pitch is fouled off, evens the count at 2. So Taylor Rush, if you're listening in, hope you're doing well, my friend. 9-1 is the tally. Paddleheads well out in front in this one. Jason Newman, a 2-run single earlier on in the action, also reached on an error. Gatewood to follow. The 2-2 pitch to Newman. Foul away. Fastball up. You've got some guts throwing that pitch in a 2-strike count. Not sure if that's where they wanted it, but a fastball up to a guy that's got 27 home runs, that's a bold strategy, Cotton. 2-2 is the count to Jason Newman. Nelson set up, looking right at the big fella. The 2-2 on the way. This one popped up, foul territory. Skelly giving it a look behind home plate, but this one is into the seats. Hit off something, a big ricochet off, I'd imagine, one of the seats. Was about 3 or 4 rows up on the first base side, ended up bouncing all the way towards the concourse. Hello, 2-2. And obviously, due to the protective netting, you don't see a ton of foul balls that go into the seating areas. But it seems like every time you see the one that goes into it in one way, shape, or form, it's not just a routine play. Now, I would think for a foul ball, that's probably a good thing. The 2-2 to Newman is taken below the knees. Ball 3, 3-2. Interesting defensive alignment for Boise. We've seen shifts with Gatewood in the box and other left-handed batters. But Dudois, the second baseman, is playing to the left of second. The only man on the first base side is Cruz, the first baseman. And he's playing way off the line. Full count, 3-2 to Newman. 9-1 lead for Missoula, the payoff. Foul away. Fastball, bottom part of the zone. Newman goes down there and golfs it to stay alive. Tough pitch to handle. Fastball with a good amount of sink from Nelson right on the inside corner in a 2-strike count, but Newman does well just to spoil it to see another. 3-ball, 2-strike count. 3-2. Newman waits. Nelson. Here he comes. Breaking ball taken just low for ball 4. Good take by Newman. A tough pitch to lay off of. but did just that. Draws the free pass to reach base for the third time. After the Paddleheads went down in order in the third inning, leadoff man is aboard here in the fourth, as Nick Gatewood will get a shot with a runner on at first base. Gatewood has come into the dish twice with runners on base and has come through with RBI base hits in both instances. He's 2 for 2. 2 of the 9 hits recorded from Missoula. The first pitch to Gator. Ground ball, slowly hit foul with some crazy English on it. 0-1. One of those initially, it looked like it was going out towards the field, but actually was coming towards us on the third base side, ended up close to Cam Willman, who stands in the on-deck circle. 0-1. Pitch on the way to Jason Newman. This one taken, evens the count. 2 RBI singles for Gatewood, brought his total up to 62. Surpassed Lamar Sparks for second on the team in his last at-bat. Jason Newman, of course, leads the club, now with 91 with 2 RBIs tonight. 1-1 pitch. This one hit pretty well. Right center field. Going back is Teixeira looking up, and this baby is gone. Nick Gatewood got a breaking ball up and hammers it to right center field. What a great start to this ball game for Gator. He's got 3 hits, tacks on 2 more RBIs on his 8th home run of the season. 2-run blast. The Paddleheads just keep on adding on. Paddleheads now in double-digit runs and hits. 11-1 now the tally, as Cam Willman will stand in. That one traveling 390 feet off the bat of Nick Gatewood into right center field. Touched on, sometimes guys getting fortunate with that short porch. Not that one. That was a shot from Gatewood. As Cam Willman stands in. The first pitch to Willman is down low and off the plate, 1-0. We've touched on the struggles of Boise this season and holding the worst overall record in the Pioneer League. The 1-0 on the way, take in, strike at the bottom of the zone. You'll just have to, it'll be interesting to see how this team reacts to how things have gone first 2 days of this series. Obviously 4 games left, so you're going to have to try to pick yourself up off the deck. 1-1 pitch is a ball lifted center field. Tyler Jorgensen's got a beat on it, moving a bit to the right. He has it in center field, corralling out number 1. Willman relatively quiet so far, 0 for 2 with a walk. After the fly out to center field, we will see Cam Thompson stand in. Thompson, a base hit and a walk so far. Don't have a real great look at it. Looks like a pretty wild sunset from what I do see looking behind us to the west. With all the cloud cover, sun poking through, probably providing a crazy sunset. First pitch to Cam Thompson is down low. I think the prettiest sunset backdrop we've seen this year, actually saw it last weekend at Centene Stadium on Saturday. May remember the 1-0 pitch to Thompson is low, 2-0. Last Saturday, may remember there was a weather delay in Great Falls due to some thunder cells around the area. And after that, we then saw a lot of those clouds hang around. When you have big puffy clouds and a sunset, a lot of times can provide a great sunset. That's what happened. The 2-0 pitch, this one popped up down the left field line. Raymond Gill hustling down the line is going to give way to Wallstad, who makes the catch. In foul ground, coming behind the bullpen mound for out number 2. That was an adventure coming into foul territory, but Ryan Wallstad is able to make the catch for the second out of the frame. 2 outs recorded quickly after the home run ball. So a nice way for Jordan Nelson to bounce back in this inning. 2 outs and the base is empty now. McLean O'Connor will jump into the box. O'Connor reached on an error in his last plate appearance. It was an error by Raymond Gill at third. First pitch, O'Connor sees a breaking ball, almost hit him, 1-0. O'Connor just able to lean out of the way. It was a sharp ground ball off the bat of O'Connor to the third baseman Gill with the bases loaded, and he just fired it right past Skelly, the catcher. 1-0 is popped up into shallow right field. Right there is Teixeira coming in a few paces. He's got it. Out number 3. Paddleheads strike quickly in this inning. A walk to the leadoff man, Jason Newman. And then Nick Gatewood hammers a ball into right center field. A 2-run blast. Paddleheads now a 10-run lead, 11-1 the score on ESPN Radio. We've made our way to the 5th inning now, and it will begin with the top of the order coming up for Boise. Aloha Dutois with Abraham Sequeira and Juan Teixeira coming up in this half inning against Palmer Wenzel. The first pitch is on the inside corner, strike 1. Just 3 hits for Boise through the first 4 innings. 3 walks issued also by Wenzel. Only 1 run, though, given up, and it was an unearned run back in the first. The 0-1, Dutois fouls it away to the left. Going with the location of a fastball towards the outside, count quickly 0-2. Dutois scored the only run for the Hawks in the first inning. Reached on an error. Almost hard to believe the Hawks led at one point. So the Paddleheads have now scored 11 unanswered in a row. 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Going after a breaking ball off the plate away was Dutois for out number 1. And that was the first strikeout for Palmer Wenzel on the mound. At times, as like I've mentioned, hasn't always found the strike zone. But one thing Wenzel has done a good job of tonight is keeping the ball down. Haven't seen a lot of location mistakes. As Sequeira stands in, first offering is low for ball 1. And sometimes that's the best thing you can do is locate well, keep the ball down. 1-0 pitch is just outside. 2-0. As pro hitters are mistake-hitting fools. Doesn't matter what count you're in. If you leave a pitch out over the plate, you're vulnerable. The 2-0. This one lined foul off to the left. Crazy spin. Saw that one kind of slice right over the top of the bullpen off to the left. No chances for a play down there. Saw a couple plays on both sides made in the pen. One Paddlehead reliever made a catch, as did a Boise reliever. Noticed a lot of times also that Mark Timmons will try to make a play on a foul ball, hit towards the dugout whenever he gets a chance. 2-1, the pitch to Sequeira. This a line drive down the left field line. This one will stay fair and roll up against the wall. So this will be extra bases for Abraham Sequeira into second base. First extra base hit for the Boise Hawks, a double with one out here in the fifth inning. His 8th of the year for Abraham Sequeira. Line drive down the line. Initially, I thought it was going to slice foul again, but it just stayed right on that line going down the line. Good piece of hitting in that spot, just going right with the location. Juan Teixeira to the dish now. In that mock walkout, I think if you were a fan of Nickelodeon programming in the early 2000s, you probably recognized that one. Because, if my ears did not deceive me, I believe we just heard the theme song to the old show Drake and Josh, I believe. Ball, no strikes the count with one out. Drake and Josh known for their time on the Amanda Show as well with Amanda Bynes. 1-0 pitch, ground ball to the left side. Cam Willman has it to the left of second base. He throws to Newman for the second out of the frame. Was a productive out is Sequeira moves up to third base. But Juan Teixeira, who had singled in his first 2 plate appearances against Wenzel, bounces out for the second out of the frame. Will now be up to Jacob Cruz, try to get a run in. That's one thing that Wenzel has done a good job of also. Seeing the Hawks have a couple of opportunities to score some runs over the last couple innings, but Wenzel has gotten tough in these RBI situations. First pitch to Cruz is good pitch. A fastball right at the bottom of the zone. 0-1. Cruz hit the ball pretty hard with a runner in scoring position, but right to O'Connor. Line drive to second base is also bounced into a double play. The 0-1. Off the end of the bat, down the left field line. This one hooks just foul. Just foul. That was just a little bloop headed down the line and left. Almost in a spot where nobody could have gotten to it. Would have gotten another run on the board for Boise, but it lands just to the left of the line. Not by a lot. Couldn't have been more than a foot or two. And it's just been one of those nights for the Boise Hawks. Seemingly everything going against them. Trailing by 10, 11-1 the score here in the top of the fifth inning. Count is 0-2 to Jacob Cruz. Wenzel set at the chest. Here it comes. Look out. Foul over the top of the Boise dugout. Pitch was way towards the inside part of the plate to the left-handed batting Cruz. Got the bat out there. Was a bit out in front. Just lasered it right over the top of the dugout. If Cruz gets aboard, we'd see Raymond Gill come into the box. 0-2 with 2 away, runner on at third base. The pitch from Wenzel. Ground ball, right side. O'Connor has it on a tough hop at second. He throws to Newman, and that will do it for this half inning. A double with one out for Sequeira, but that's it for the Hawks. No runs here in the fifth inning. Nice outing for Palmer Wenzel through 5. Just 1 run scored, and it was an unearned run. Bottom 5 coming up. Missoula way out in front. We've got you rolling with more action here at Allegiance Field, Oakland Park. Nelson will continue his stint out of the bullpen for the Boise Hawks. Jared Akins will lead off the 5th inning for the Paddleheads. Akins, Brandon Riley, and then Keaton Greenwald in this half inning. 9-1-2 spots for the Paddleheads. Akins has had 2 good at-bats tonight so far. Was an RBI double in the first. Got a bit unlucky in his next plate appearance. As Akins hit a ball right on the screws on the right side, but right to the glove of Cruz, the first baseman, who was able to double off a runner at second base to end the inning. Leading off the 5th here, Akins swings and hits a slow roller, first base side. Cruz bobbles it, and there will be no play. Cruz, I'm sure, was thinking about the speed of Akins coming down the line and just bobble it away. So we'll see if they will score that as a hit for Akins or an error. I would imagine it would be an error. And yes, it will be. This just has been an ugly day at the office for the Boise Hawks. No other way to say it. Of course, the offense for the Paddleheads has done plenty, having recorded 10 hits already. But when you also commit 4 errors on the other side, that's just not going to get it done. Here's Brandon Riley. First pitch is just low, or no, a late called strike. Changeup right at the bottom corner. Brandon Riley kept it going in the first. Single and a sac fly. Struck out in the third. He is 1 for 2. Akins on at first. Nobody out. Good speed. The 0-1 delivery is down below the knees. Off speed evens the count. There is some activity going in the Paddlehead bullpen. Not used to seeing him down in the pen, but it's Domingo Pena up and throwing. 1-1. Nelson to the plate. This one a ground ball foul. Right past Ryan Whithorn, first base coach's box. We saw Domingo Pena throw out of the bullpen in his first appearance off the inactive list on Sunday. Looks like Pena might be getting some more action out of that Paddlehead pen. Just trying to work his way back, coming off the inactive list. A ball, 2 strikes to Brandon Riley. Nelson coming home. Ground ball to the right of the mound, gobbled up by Dubois, flips to Wallstad for 1, on to first, and Riley is out by a half step. Nicely turned. Dubois, Wallstad to Cruz, 4-6-3, and just like that, Greenwald will come into the box with 2 outs and the base is empty. The exchange from Dubois to the shortstop Minder had to be perfect, and it was. To turn that double play. Keaton Greenwald now to the dish. Hit a ball hard, but right to the left fielder, Wallstad, his last time in the box, 1 for 3. First pitch, Greenwald takes up high. Still a 10-run lead for the Missoula Paddleheads, 11-1. Paddleheads offense got it started quickly. A 7-run rally in the first. They've just been cruising ever since. The 1-0 pitch, Greenwald takes on the outside corner. Even counted, a ball and a strike. And so far, the first 2 games of this series, much different from what we saw when the Paddleheads visited Memorial Stadium. The Hawks were right with the Paddleheads. Tight action over in Boise. 1-1 with 2 away. Fastball, called a strike on the outside. There's one game the Paddleheads had late offensive success in the last 2 innings to eke out a win, a 3-1 victory. Had another game where it went to a knockout as well. 1-2 to Greenwald with 2 outs. Swing and a miss at a pitch down below the knees. That will do it for this half inning. So Akins reaches to start it off, but a double play ball immediately takes wind out of the sails. And the Paddleheads end up going down in order in the 5th inning. To the 6th we go. Missoula cruising on the west side.
Back to the ballpark.
Series finale between these two teams coming up tomorrow night. A thirsty Thursday here at Allegiance Field, Ogren Park. $3 domestic drafts and $4 craft beers. You can also head on over across the street to Canby Tap House. Before the game, there will be a pregame happy hour that will start at 5 o'clock and lead up right up to when the gates open at the ballpark. There will be a couple of Paddlehead players, along with Paxton, amongst other Paddlehead favorites at that happy hour. It's always a fun time. So come on out, enjoy the happy hour, then some baseball. Karaoke also featured with Thirsty Thursday tomorrow. Final time you'll get to see the Boise Hawks this season. Raymond Gill will start off this inning. First pitch, swing and a miss. Fastball towards the outside, 0-1. And we're off and running in the 6th inning with Palmer Wenzel still on the mound. Domingo Pena still in the pen also. So we'll see what the thought process is for Michael Schlack in terms of the pitching. The 0-1 to Raymond Gill. This is a line drive right to Newman at first base for out number 1. Wasn't sure if that ball skipped in just barely, but Newman did. Scooped that one up off the dirt. Made the catch clean off the bat of Gill. Out number 1. As time is being called, here comes Michael Schlack. So that one batter and a hard-hit baseball was enough to get Palmer Wenzel pulled out of the game. So we will now see Domingo Pena come into the action. So 1 out, base is empty, 6th inning, Palmer Wenzel departs. And what a heck of an effort it was for him. Just 1 run allowed, it was an unearned run. Heck of an effort for Palmer Wenzel. Definitely did his part with the offense flexing its muscles on the other side. So Domingo Pena's coming in. We'll come back after this.
It's time for the 13th annual Bitterroot Celtic Games and Gathering, a 2-day festival of all things Celtic. Highland athletic competitions, live music, dance, pipe band performances, Irish whiskey,
On 102.9 ESPN Missoula, your home of the Missoula PaddleHeads.
We're back in the top of the sixth with one out and the base is empty. Familiar face on the mound, but not in this sort of a role. Domingo Pena will take things over with one out in the sixth inning. The opening day starter for the Missoula Paddleheads. He will come on to face Ryan Wallstad with one out. Heck of an effort tonight for Palmer Wenzel at 5 1/3. First pitch from Domingo Pena to Wallstad. Fastball outside for ball one. When Pena is on, we'll see 90-plus mile-an-hour fastball, changeup, and a breaking ball. 1-0 towards the bottom of the zone, but just low. Count quickly 2-0. A couple of disgruntled fans not happy with that one called. One out. Wallstad hit the ball hard, but right to Willman in his last at-bat. Reached on a walk earlier. 2-0. Fastball up high. 3-0. Two close pitches. Last two, both called out of the zone. The 3-0 to Wallstad. Going towards the outside, but missing. That's a 4-pitch walk. Trevor Minder will now be the hitter. So Wallstad reaches base for the second time. Second time he has been on base with a free pass. Final line for Palmer Wenzel, 5 1/3. 1 run, it was unearned. 4 hits, just 1 strikeout. Did well keeping the ball down all night, did Palmer Wenzel. First pitch, Trevor Minder takes a strike. A fastball towards the outside, 0-1. Minder hitless 0 for 2. Fly ball into shallow right, tracked down by Lamar Sparks in his last plate appearance. The 0-1 from Pena, swinging a ball laced but foul. Towards the party deck, off the railing of the party deck. That would have been a heck of a party favor. Here you go. Here's 91 miles an hour going into your party. Woohoo! Maybe not so much. 0-2. 1 out. 11-1 lead for the Missoula Paddleheads, who are here in the top of the sixth. Pena, the 0-2 delivery. Line drive right to the glove of Willman at second. Flips to O'Connor. That one on to first. 2. Double play. 6-4-3. Twin Killen gets the Paddleheads out of the inning. 11-1 the advantage. Do the Paddleheads have more for the peanut inning? We'll find out after this on ESPN Radio. Well, I guess Sammy B was ready for the peanut inning. Paddleheads got a good part of the order coming up. Lamar Sparks will lead it off. Murderer's Row, here it comes. Sparks, Newman, and Gator. 11-1 already is the tally. Nelson is still out there, out of the bullpen. Very elongated stint out of the pen for him. He's done a nice job eating these innings up, though, for the Hawks. The first pitch to Lamar Sparks is up high for a fastball, missing 1-0. Sparks, 2 base hits in his first 2 at-bats, struck out looking against Nelson. In the third, he's 2 for 3. The 1-0 delivery, Nelson comes home. Ground ball to the right side, left side. Gill has it, throws across the diamond just in time to get Sparks for the first out. Sparks puts some heat on that play, but Gill able to get the throw over there in time for the first out of the frame. Jason Newman now to the dish. Newman got the offense going in the first. 2-run single. He's also been on an error by the third baseman Gill and a walk. Newman takes the first pitch up and in. And a pinch hitter has come out on deck for the Paddleheads. That's the new guy. 1-0 pitch to Newman. This one hit the other way, but foul. Andrew Noviello has grabbed a bat. Noviello was just signed today by the Paddleheads. A Massachusetts native, formerly with the Ogden Raptors, who we saw just a couple weeks ago as a member of Ogden in this ballpark. But now suiting up for the Paddleheads. Looks like he will get an at-bat next. The 1-1. Swinging a line drive left center field. This one is going to get down in front of Jorgensen. A base hit for Jason Newman. Now he's going to try to stretch it as the ball gets by in the alleyway. Newman rumbling towards third. The relay is not in time. The big fella rumbles all the way around. Looks like that was misplayed by Jorgensen out in the outfield, but Newman a chance, runs all the way around and gets to third. We'll have to see how that's scored. I imagine that will be a base hit and then an error on Jorgensen in left center. If so, that would be the 5th error committed by the Hawks. As Andrew Noviello will now step in, chance to immediately make some friends. With a man on at third, less than 2 outs. First at bat as a Paddlehead. So Noviello gets his first at bat. Had a 287 average with Ogden. First pitch is low for ball 1. Noviello splitting time behind the dish. Played in 36 games with the Raptors. Also a guy that had some connections to the Red Sox system. Was drafted out of high school in 2015. 1-0 pitch. This one a sky-high fly ball, center field. Coming in on it is Jorgensen. Newman thinking about tagging up. Here he comes. Jorgensen's throw to the plate is cut off, and that fly ball was deep enough from Noviello. Sacrifice fly, gets a run in. 12-1 now the score, and the Paddleheads get peanuts in the 6th inning. That's 2 nights in a row with the peanut inning. Touchdown now. This will be Boise's only trip to this ballpark this season. They've had to deal with the peanuts now 2 nights in a row. And it's not just the fans going nuts. I'm hearing a couple of dogs with all the noise start to lose it as well. Dogs are barking, peanuts are flying. just another night in Missoula at Allegiance Field, Ogren Park. 12-1 Missoula. So Noviello bats for Gatewood in that spot. We'll have to see if he stays in the game. I would imagine there's a good chance he will. First pitch, Cam Willman takes up high. Noviello is a catcher by trade, so it makes sense if he stays in to replace Gatewood for the rest of the way, with this score being 12-1. Give Gatewood a bit of a break. 1-0 pitch to Willman, a ground ball, left side coming in as Minder, the shortstop, throwing to first quickly in time to get Willman for the final out of the frame. But thanks to Andrew Noviello, a sacrifice fly in the inning, gets a run home, and the Paddleheads lead by 11 now, headed to the 7th. 12-1 the tally on ESPN Radio.
In Missoula.
Domingo Pena will start out a clean inning here in the 7th with the Paddleheads up by 11. 12-1 is the score. And we will indeed see Andrew Noviello stay in the ballgame, replacing Nick Gatewood. So it's Noviello now behind the dish. Got his first at-bat for the Paddleheads. In that last inning, a sac fly into center field, gets a run home. The 12th run for the Paddleheads. He takes over the rest of the way. We'll now see the Boise catcher come up to start off this inning. Sean Skelly will be the batter. Skelly, Tyler Jorgensen, and then the top of the order. 8-9-1 spots for the Hawks. Pena came on with 1 out in the 6th inning in relief of Palmer Wenzel. Was able to get out of it with a double play ball. First pitch to Skelly on the way. Fastball up and in. 12-1 the score here. Checking on some other scores around the Pioneer League. Glacier Range Riders at Flathead Field tonight. Doubling up the Range Riders after winning Game 1 running away. 1-0 pitch finds the zone on the outside. 6-3 is the lead for the Voyagers over the Range Riders, looking to make it 2 in a row. Another tight ball game between the Billings Mustangs and Idaho Falls Chuckers. 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss by Skelly. The pitch on the outside was way out in front. Good changeup from Pena. Was a 3-2 win for Billings last night, but Boise may be a chance to flip the script tonight. They lead 3-2 in the 7th. That Chucker bullpen has been very shaky, though. 1-2 is just low. That one did not miss by much. Fastball with some sink Also some run away from Skelly. Must have just ran far enough away from the corner. Good pitch and a 1-2 count by Pena. 1-2, or 2-2 now. Here it comes. Ground ball, Newman sees it hop away from him, but Pena covering first base is there in time for out number 1. Tough hop for Jason Newman at first. Was an in-between hop. I think he smartly just kind of tried to stick his chest in front of it to knock it down, but it kind of knocked to the left just a bit. But Newman was able to stay with it enough to get the runner at first for out number 1. The end of the day, just a 3-1 in the scorebook. Skelly is 0 for 2 now. Tyler Jorgensen at the dish with 1 out and the base is empty. 12-1 lead for the Paddleheads. First pitch is outside, fastball missing. It was a heck of a night for the Paddleheads bullpen last night. 4 1/3 scoreless. Hawks never really mounted any threat. 1-0, swing and a miss. Way out in front of a changeup. Count even at 1. And when I say way in front, I mean way out in front. Jorgensen had 0 chance. 1-1 pitch on the way. Fastball just dips down low. 2-1 the count. Fastball from Pena so far has been hovering around low 90s, 90 to 92. 2-1. Target in from Noviello. Here it comes. Half swing and a foul on the third base side. Fastball in on the hands. Jorgensen checked his swing, but the ball went right into the path of the bat. So the count now even at 2. There is some activity going in the Boise pen. After the starter Mike Peterson only went 1, we've seen Nelson from that point on. The next 5 innings. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Fastball towards the outside corner. Blows Jorgensen away for out number 2. Good pitch with a lot of downward bite to it. Domingo Pena, so far so good. He's faced 3 batters and retired all of them. As Haloa Dutois will now stand in with 2 outs and the base is empty in the top of the 7th inning. Just 4 hits for the Hawks, 11 for Missoula. First pitch is at the knees, you bet. Strike 1 with heat. It's been mainly the fastball and a changeup for Pena in this inning. He's had good success with both pitches, though. The 0-1. This one a pop fly into shallow left center field. Moving in is Brandon Riley. He's got it for out number 3. Just made a V line for that one in shallow left center to make it look easy. 3 up, 3 down in the top of the 7th. Time to stretch here at Allegiance Field, Ogren Park. 11-1 advantage for the Missoula Paddleheads. We got more coming up after this.
Hi, I'm Dave Lapham. I was motivated to have surgery because I can no longer do the things I love doing without the pain. I had a total knee joint replacement surgery and I'm so happy with the care that I received. The surgery went so well, I was up and walking within a few hours and went home the next morning. I would recommend Missoula Bone and Joint to anybody who wants to keep being active without the constant pain. I loved having surgery at an outpatient setting so I could recover at home, and I can't wait to get back to my outdoor activities.
back in here for what is the bottom half of the 7th inning. Fans enjoying themselves, dancing a little bit of the YMCA here in the bottom of the 7th. It has been a fun night for these folks here at the yard. A lot of offensive success. 12-1 is the score. Cam Thompson will start things off in this half inning. New pitcher has come out for the Boise Hawks. Nelson's job in the bullpen finally done after 5 innings, a long stint. But doing a good job, did Nelson. Gave up 4 runs, did Nelson. 5 runs, but not all of them earned. Number of defensive blunders were made behind him. The one thing he does is takes a lot of pressure off the bullpen, having eaten up a lot of those innings. After the starter only went 1 frame. It's Mitch Lyons in for the bottom of the 7th. First pitch, Cam Thompson takes a strike. Mitch Lyons, a returner from a season ago for Gary Van Tol and the Hawks. Typically saw Mitch Lyons as a starting pitcher, though, last year. Second time making a stint out of the bullpen, was out there briefly last night as well. The 0-1 pitch to Thompson is just outside. Mitch Lyons, one of a few guys carry over from the Boise State baseball program. Gary Van Tol was the manager of the Boise State Broncos baseball team before the team disbanded due to Title IX. 1-1 is the count. Matt Gabbert, another pitcher, as well as Matt Dallas. All guys that pitched at Boise State. Mitch Lyons, a native of Battleground, Washington, as the 1-1 pitch is cut on and missed. Mitch Lyons' fastball can get up there pretty good. Low 9s typically, and was a pretty good strikeout guy in his first season with the Hawks. 1-2. The pitch to Cam Thompson is hit the other way, fouled off over the top of the Paddlehead bullpen off to the left. Speaking of the bullpen, there's some activity going down there. Dan Swain is up throwing. Cam Thompson so far, single and a walk. In a 1-2 count, starting off the bottom of the 7th. Pitch on its way to Thompson, skips into home plate. McLean O'Connor to follow, and then Jared Akins. $12 runs on 11 hits for Missoula. 1 run on just 4 for the Boise Hawks. They almost have more errors than they do base hits in this game. Just kind of tells the story of how the night has gone so far. 23 years old is Lyons. Mentioned had a pretty good year last year for Boise as a starting pitcher. 2-2 pitch, ground ball, foul. He made 16 starts. All of his appearances last year for Boise were as a starting pitcher. ERA just north of 5. 69 Ks in 87 2/3 innings for Mitch Lyons to go along with a 7-3 record. Count is 2-2 to Cam Thompson. Coming home from the right side of the rubber. The 2-2 is fouled straight back. Fastball towards the outside, but Thompson looked to be right on it. Boise got on the board first in this game. Had a lead very briefly, the first lead they've had in the 2 games. But it did not last long at all. Paddleheads rallied for 7 in the bottom of that inning. 2-2. Breaking ball taken low. Curveball not close. 3-2. So with Swain warming in the pen, I would imagine that means the end of work for Domingo Pena. Looks pretty solid in that last inning of work. 3 up, 3 down. Count full to Thompson. Here it comes. This one a fly ball, center field, dead center field. Jorgensen doesn't have to hardly move a step. Underneath it, he has it for the first out of the bottom of the 7th inning. Thompson just getting underneath that one. Fastball right out over the plate. Just a lazy fly into center for the first out of the inning. McLean O'Connor still looking for his first hit coming into the box here. Has been on base once. Reached on an error back in the 2nd inning. 1 of 4 errors committed by Boise. They must have not given an error to Jorgensen in that last inning as O'Connor swings and skies one into right center field. Teixeira is under it, and he has it for the 2nd out. Out number 2, McLean O'Connor now 0 for 4. 2 outs, bases are empty. Jared Akins now to the plate. Akins got his night started offensively in the first with a double. Brought in the 6th run for the Paddleheads in that 7-run rally. Paddleheads would add 2 more in the next half. Missoula almost had 10 hits on the board after the first 2 innings were over. Just jumped right on Boise. First pitch is just off the plate, didn't miss by much. Looks like a changeup from Mitch Lines. Lines looking for a quick inning here in the 7th. 12-1 advantage for the Paddleheads here in game 2. The 1-0. Akins takes a fastball off the plate just a bit. If we see Akins get a board, B-Rye would get a shot waiting on deck for the Paddleheads with 2 outs. A ball and a strike to Jared Akins. Mitch Lines set up on the right side. To the plate he comes. This one fouled straight back. Now a 2-strike count to Akins. Or check that, a 2-ball count to Akins. 2-1 with 2 outs. Pitch on the way, ground ball. Diving stop at first base by Cruz. He flips to Lines, and that will do it for this half inning. Nice defensive play at first by Jacob Cruz to end this half frame. We will head to the top of the 8th. The Paddleheads lead by 11. 12-1 is the score.
Paddlehead Baseball on 102.9 ESPN Radio Missoula.
We're back for the 8th inning here at Allegiance Field, Ogren Park. Just one more game left of this homestand. It's coming tomorrow night. Thirsty Thursday lined up for you. Series finale. Last time the Boise Hawks will appear in this ballpark during the regular season. 7 o'clock start. Discounted draft beers, $3 domestics, and $4 crafts. Part of Thirsty Thursday, along with that happy hour across the street. Starts at 5 o'clock over at Canby Tap House. So fun all the way around. Get an early start on your weekend with the Paddleheads. Get your tickets. Go paddleheads.com. Abraham Sequeira to the dish, leading things off against Dan Swain. First pitch on the way. Sequeira takes a curveball for strike one. So it's an all-Massachusetts battery here in Missoula. How about that? All the way out in western Montana, you got two guys from Massachusetts taking the mound. Or in the battery, I should say. Noviello from around the Boston area, as is Dan Swain. Not from the city of Boston, both of them not. Noviello went to Bridgewater High School. That's a bit south of Boston, I believe, going towards the Cape. As the 1-1 pitch is up and away, Dan Swain is from west of Boston in Newton, Massachusetts. Sequeira in the box. Swain sets up high, the 2-1 offering. This one lined but foul. Fastball with plenty of giddy up on it from Swain. Sees the count evened up at 2. Sequeira, Teixeira, and then Cruz. 2-3-4. A two-bagger for Sequeira. His last time up was with one out in the 5th inning. The 2-2 on the way, grounded slowly. Fair ball, first base side. Newman has it. He'll go to the bag for out number 1. One of those where it looks like it was going to be a sure out as long as it stayed fair, and it did. There is also a defensive change to let you know about in this half inning. Patrick Chung has come into the game in place of McLean O'Connor. So it's now Patrick Chung at second base for the last couple frames. And my goodness, Sammy B is busting a move right in front of me with Juan Teixeira in the box. How do you even focus with that going on? Swing and a miss at the first pitch, a breaking ball. That was nasty, 0-1. Teixeira got completely broken down. And when that curve is working for Swain, really is a big key for him on the mound. Just opens up so many doors. The 0-1. This one dips down below the knees. Swain coming off a good outing in Great Falls also. Pitched in 2 frames coming down the stretch, 2 scoreless innings. That's been the thing with Swain all year. It's never been a question of his stuff, the 90-plus mile-an-hour fastball to go with the great breaking ball. Just has had trouble controlling it at times. But when he's been in the zone, his stuff is as nasty as anybody's you'll see in the Pioneer League. 12-1 score. The Paddleheads lead it. Teixeira waiting on the 1-1. Here it comes. This one a line shot up the middle, but Greenwald's right there for out number 2. Fastball right out over the plate. Teixeira hammered it, but right to Greenwald. And it's just been one of those nights for the Hawks. 2 outs, base is empty. Jacob Cruz to the plate. Every bounce that could go against you, it seems like it has for this Boise club tonight. Juan Teixeira, one of a few bright spots. He is 2 for 3 at the dish, is responsible for the only runs scored tonight by Boise. All the way back in the 1st inning. First pitch, breaking ball, grounded foul down by the bullpen. Skips off the carrying walls and onto the field of play. That one skipped like it was going off the boards in a hockey game. Skipping around the boards like you're on a penalty kill. By the way, you can catch Grizz hockey later in September right here on ESPN Radio. 0-1 pitch, This is a line drive center field again. Greenwald drifting back into left center, puts it away, reaching up for out number 3. Couple of hard-hit baseballs, but all for naught in this half inning for the Hawks. To the bottom half of the 8th we go. Paddleheads up by 11, 12-1 the score. We're back for the bottom half of the 8th. Brandon Riley in the top of the order will come up one more time on a Wednesday night. Mitch Lyons is out for another half inning, was out there in the 7th as well. Mitch Lyons making his first appearance this week since pitching against the Paddleheads in the Pioneer League Championship Series. Made 2 appearances for Boise last postseason, actually picked up a save in one of his 2 outings. That was in the Southern Division playoff, a game won by the Hawks over the Ogden Raptors by a final score of 8-7. Jeff Lyle in the third base coach's box for the Paddleheads was also a part of that one. With Ogden last season was Jeff Lyle. The 0-1 to Brandon Riley skips in. Mitch Lyons made a start, and it was in Game 2 of the Pioneer League Championship Series at Memorial Stadium. Had a heck of an outing. Went 7 innings, gave up just 2 runs, a no decision. Mentioned that game a few times over this series. It was a game won late by the Hawks in the 8th inning. 1-1 pitch, or the rally in the 8th, was the key to the victory for Boise. Was Vladimir Golindo hitting a triple into center field off of Mark Simon that gave the Hawks the lead for good. Would set up a winner-take-all Game 3 that was won by Missoula. 2-1 pitch, called a strike to Riley. But it's been kind of fun to go down memory lane, so to speak, with that series while the Hawks have been here. Because when you're in the middle of a series like that, it's such a whirlwind. So much emotions going around. The 2-2 pitch to Brandon Riley, swing and a miss. Good curveball from Mitch Lyons, and down goes Riley for out number 1. Keaton Greenwald will now be the hitter. So a strikeout for Lyons records the first out as Keaton Greenwald stands in. 1 for 3 is Greenwald so far, an RBI base hit, part of that 7-run rally. First pitch, Greenwald hits it the other way, foul behind Ryan Whithorn, the first base coach's box. And really, yes, a little bit closer game yesterday, but Missoula has just completely controlled both games of action to this point in this series. 1-0, or 0-1 rather, foul off by Greenwald. Count 0-2 quickly on 2 foul offs. And especially after the performance tonight for Boise where nothing was going right. Starting pitcher was out after 1. You've had 4 errors defensively, only 4 hits at the plate. How do you respond? How do you bounce back? How do you find some sort of success? The 0-2 is in the dirt. A ball and 2 strikes the count. The main thing I think the Hawks really need to try to get going is the offense. Touched on the Paddleheads shutting down Boise coming down the stretch last night. Same has been true for the vast majority of this one. The Hawks were lucky to get the 1 run they did back in the first inning. The 1-2 pitch to Greenwald. This is a line drive, base hit up the middle for Keaton Greenwald. Reaching down and getting that breaking ball at the bottom part of the zone with 2 strikes. That was a good piece of hitting from Keaton Greenwald. His second hit tonight puts a runner on in front of Lamar Sparks. Singles for Sparks in his first 2 plate appearances, retired his next 2. 2 for 4 overall in a 12-1 contest here in the bottom of the 8th. It was tight between Billings and Idaho Falls, but the Hawks, or excuse me, the Chuckers, wrong bird, have stretched it out a bit at Melaleuca Field. First pitch taken inside for a strike by Sparks. 0-1. Pitch looked to be a bit inside. Sparks can't believe it, so he steps out of the box. I mean, it sure looked to me like that fastball kind of brushed him off the plate, but was still called a strike. Greenwald, fair-sized lead. Cruz not playing with him on the bag. The 0-1. Lamar Sparks rips it right up the middle, a base hit in front of Jorgensen on 1 hop. That was a rocket up the middle. 2 runners aboard now for Jason Newman. Maybe the Paddleheads offense looking for one last encore. Here in the bottom half of the 8th with 2 runners on, here comes Jason Newman. Jason Newman's had a nice night swinging the bat. 2 singles and a walk. Also a couple of RBIs for Newman. Chance to put an exclamation point on what has been a fantastic night for this Paddlehead offense. With 2 runners on and only 1 out. Base hit from Greenwald, or from Sparks rather, was the Paddlehead's 13th hit. Newman waiting the first pitch. Swing and a miss. Fastball towards the inside. Actually a foul tip, as indicated by the umpire, into the glove of Skelly. Nothing in 1 with 1 away. Paddleheads have scored 12 unanswered after the top of the first inning. The 0-1. Swing and a miss and another fastball up. Newman trying to loosen up after that swing. Going after a fastball that looked to be up above the letters. In that previous pitch, Andrew Noviello, who got his first at-bat as a Paddlehead in a pinch hit spot as last time, stayed in the game, is waiting on deck. Nothing in 2. The pitch to Newman. Another fastball chased out of the zone. Strike 3. And the second out recorded. Both outs in this inning via the K for Mitch Lines will now come down to Andrew Noviello with 2 outs and 2 runners aboard. Good situational at-bat for Noviello, his first time up with the Paddleheads. Came up with a runner on at third, less than 2 outs, got a pitch he could handle and skied it into center field to get him home. A sac fly for Noviello. Thought it was kind of cool that he was with a battery mate from Massachusetts in that last inning. Dan Swain on the mound. You just think about that. We got 2 guys from the East Coast, far, far away from here in Montana, both appearing in pro ball. Unreal. Baseball world is crazy. 0-1 pitch is swung on and missed. Pitch down below the knees, 0-2. And also it kind of really highlights minor league baseball. Also, guys just traversing long distances, chasing a dream, doing what they love. The 0-2 pitch. This one is hammered. Right center field. Jorgensen on the move, and he can't get it. This ball's going to skip to the wall. Greenwald scores. Sparks scores. Into second base is Noviello with a stand-up double. Andrew Noviello, welcome to Missoula. He's got 3 RBIs and 2 at-bats, and the Paddleheads lead 14-1. That ball was hammered into right center field. 361 feet, and Jorgensen could not track it down. Well, there's a way to have a debut. Cam Willman will stand in. The Paddleheads do have one last encore offensively, putting their 13th and 14th runs on the board. And they're not done. Here's Cam Willman. First pitch to Willman on the way, foul, straight back. Fastball right out over the plate, 0-1. Willman was sitting on heat, it looks like also. Now 14 unanswered runs from the Paddleheads since the top of the first. Long night for these Hawks, no question about it. 0-1 delivery. Skips in. Breaking ball down low. Easy take for Willman. Will be interesting to see the role for Noviello, along with Nick Cece, the other catcher on the roster. Will they split time, or will we see one or the other take control of that spot? 1-1 is chased up. Strike 2, 1-2. The corresponding move saw Henderson Perez let go. So it's just Noviello and Cece on the roster now. When it was Perez and Cece, those two split time pretty evenly. So not sure if that's going to be the idea going forward with those two, or if it will be more Cece or Noviello. Just have to wait and see. 1-2 pitch is a ground ball towards Gill at third base on the second hop. Throws out Willman at first for the final out of the frame. But Andrew Noviello, a 2-run double, give the Paddleheads their 13th and 14th run. They are way out in front, 14-1. We're headed to the top of the ninth. Just 3 outs left to get.
On 102.9 ESPN Radio.
Dan Swain is out for another inning out of the Paddleheads bullpen, looking to bring Missoula home on a Wednesday night, get the final 3 outs to clinch a series win opposite these Boise Hawks, winning the first 2 games of this 3-game set. Have a chance to break out the brooms if Swain can get these last 3 outs here in the top of the 9th inning. Inning will begin with Raymond Gill coming to the plate. The 5, 6, 7 batters are coming up here in the top of the 9th. Raymond Gill, Ryan Wallstad, and then Trevor Minder, the scheduled 3. First pitch to Raymond Gill from Swain is on the way. This one, ball hammered straight away left field, but right to Brandon Riley for out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out. Off the bat, I thought that one had more carry to straightaway left. Must have just missed the barrel. Riley tracks it down relatively easily for out number 1. Raymond Gill, just 1 base hit, 1 for 4. Ryan Wallstad has walked twice. Also lined out to Cam Willman. 0 for 1 overall, 1 out, bases empty. First pitch, Swain sees this one dip down low. 14 runs on 14 hits for the Paddleheads. 1 run on just 4 hits for Boise. And the 1 run that scored was an unearned run all the way back in the first inning. 1-0 with 1 out. The pitch from Swain. This one fouled to the left. Strike 1. Let's give the Paddleheads credit. After the Hawks got a little strike of momentum in that first inning, taking a lead, Missoula immediately answered with that 7-run rally in the bottom of the first. 1-1 pitch is just outside. 2-1, borderline pitch on the outside corner, but not granted for a strike. So 2-1 with 1 away. Wallstad up now, Trevor Minder to follow. Swain looking to keep this run going with scoreless action from the bullpen in the series. The 2-1 pitch is sky high into shallow left center field. More work for Brandon Riley. Coming in, he makes the play. 2 down in the 9th inning. 2 routine fly balls. Swain now 1 out away. The Hawks are on life support, trailing by 13. Last gasp for the Boise Hawks will be Trevor Minder, who bounced into a twin kill in his last time is 0 for 3 overall. Great outing for Palmer Wenzel as well. Hasn't just been the bullpen. 5 1/3 for Wenzel tonight. Just 1 run scored. It was an unearned run off of Wenzel, looking to move his record to 2-1. Domingo Pena got some work out of the bullpen then, an inning and a third. Scoreless, 4 batters up, 4 batters down. Dan Swain looking to make it 6 up, 6 down in his 2 innings out of the pen. First pitch to Trevor Minder is just low for ball 1. And what a weapon Swain could be if he really hones it in coming down the stretch. We've already seen success from bullpen arms like Nate Boyle, Cody Thompson, Sam Hellinger, Mark Simon. 1-0 with 2 outs, swing and a miss. Count even at a ball and a strike. But if Swain can really get it rolling, then look out. 2 outs, and to me that's one of the biggest differences between the Paddleheads and a lot of other teams in the Pioneer League is their bullpen depth, where they have a lot of good arms. 1-1 pitch, misses inside. Take a look at, say, the Great Falls Voyagers. It's a team that's right in the race in the second half. Outside of Josh Gaynor and Montana Quigley, 2 very solid bullpen pitchers, the rest of the bullpen is shaky at best. The Paddleheads have way more than 2 arms they can go to. 2-1 pitch is cut on and missed by Minder, well behind a fastball, reaching for it. The Hawks are down to their last strike here in the top of the 9th, trailing by 13. Dan Swain trying to put away the Hawks. The Massachusetts battery trying to blow away Boise. The 2-2 on the way. Foul ball. Fastball towards the outside corner at 94 off the gun from Swain. Pitch with a great amount of downward bite towards the outside. Tough pitch to pick up, but Minder was able to get the bat on it. Keep the pulse alive for the Hawks. Minder gets aboard. Sean Skelly would bat next. 2-2 the count to Trevor Minder. Swain is ready. Here it comes. Breaking ball, bounce towards the middle. Chung dives, he can't get it. Base hit with 2 outs. The Hawks are still breathing. Won't be a quiet 9th inning as Minder records his first hit of the night. A base hit up the middle, now 1 for 4. Sean Skelly will get a shot at it now with 2 outs and a runner on at first base in the top of the 9th inning. And looking back at it, that base hit from Minder was the first hit of any kind for Boise since the 5th inning. Last guy to record a hit was Sakara with 1 out in the 5th. First pitch is up high to Sean Skelly. Two away in the frame. 1 out, 1-0 is the count to Skelly, who is 0 for 2. Bounced out to Jason Newman in his last at bat. 1-0 offering. This one a fly ball, taking on that short porch and right. Lamar Sparks looking up at the wall. It's off the top of the wall. They're going to stop Skelly at first. Into third base is Minder. Runners on at the corners. A long single off the bat of Sean Skelly. But no runs from that swing. So we'll take more production with 2 outs. Hawks up there fighting to the bitter end. Wasn't sure at first if that ball was hit hard enough to take on the short porch and right. Sparks was going to be able to make the catch right up against the wall, but it was off the wall. Swain trying to get Missoula home. Tyler Jorgensen trying to get a run in. First pitch, fastball, it misses up high. 1-0 the count. And there is nobody sitting down in that Paddlehead bullpen. So this inning, all Swain. You wouldn't imagine Schlack would want to get anybody up with the deficit where it is for Boise. 1-0 to Tyler Jorgensen. The pitch from Swain. Down low. Fastball missing. 2-0. Tyler Jorgensen still has yet to record a hit in either of the 2 games to this point, obviously. 0 for 7. Did reach in the 3rd inning on a free pass. Runners on at the corners, top of the 9th. Boise a wide margin. Behind by a wide margin. 2-0 is outside. 3-0. But if anything else, trying to put some at-bats together here, coming down the stretch. Find some semblance of momentum moving ahead. Because that's the tough part of it also. Been having a tough time here on the road against a strong club, the Paddleheads. Still got 4 games left in a row this week. Opposite Missoula, 3-0 to Jorgensen. Not close, ball 4. Fastball misses the outside. So the Hawks stretching this game out a bit. 3 base runners have now reached in a row. With Minder in the box, it looked like Boise was headed to the end of this game. He was in a 2-strike count with 2 outs. The base is empty in the 9th inning. He reached, though. Next 2 guys got on right behind him as Haloa Dudois now stands in. First pitch, fastball, apparently high. 1-0. Fastball looked to be right there at the belt. 1-0, 2 away. Swain looking to get that elusive 3rd out in this inning. The pitch to Dudois is taken down low. Ball 2. Last 6 pitches from Swain have been out of the zone. Dutois has been quiet, reached once on an error, but is 0 for 4 with a couple of Ks. Swain just trying to find the zone. The 2-0 on the way. Fastball just a bit high, 3-0. Danger of now walking in a run with the bases loaded. Got a feel for Swain got right to the finish line in this inning, maybe is just running out of gas. 3-0, not close, 4-pitch walk. Fastball off the plate, that will bring in a run. First run for the Hawks since the first inning. None of those pitches were really all that close except for the first one. It was a borderline pitch at the top of the zone, not called a strike. And sometimes when you don't get a pitch like that called, it just sets the tone for the whole at-bat, where you're just ticked off on the mound and you just can't find it. Jason Newman went over to talk with Swain briefly, just trying to give him a few words of encouragement to bring him home. That walk to bring in a run cuts the deficit to 12. 2 outs. Hawks have just been staying alive. Swinging at the first pitch, fouling it off was Sequeira. Sequeira doubled. 1 for 4. Base is still loaded, 0-1. Swain comes to the plate. This one a ground ball, right side. Chung is all over it. This should do it. A throw over to first in time. And indeed, that is the end of the ball game. Hawks get on the board in the 9th, but they needed a heck of a lot more as the Paddleheads from start to finish just dominated the Boise Hawks tonight. 14-2 the final tally, and they have clinched a series win opposite these Hawks. With wins in Game 1 and 2, we'll have a chance to break out the brooms for a Thirsty Thursday tomorrow. We'll come back to wrap it up after this.
I've been shooting since I was young. It's something I enjoy, and it's something my father and I used to do. There was a time I was going through some things. I wasn't feeling like myself, and my friend noticed and asked me if he could hold on to my guns temporarily. And at first, I was a little shocked, but I agreed. I think he saved my life that day.
If a loved one is depressed, ask to temporarily store guns away from home. Need help? Call 988. That's 988 or text MT to 741.